coming into tonight. He's given that one a big hook. Still alive footy, a chance for Butler. Darcy Wilson, that'll take some kicking from there. He's missed. Goes for the kick in. Play on. Certainly the option. Head for the ruckman. Dempsey thought about the fly, didn't go. Was hoping it would get over the back to him, which it almost did. Instead it's fed in the Humphreys direction. Now Atkins punches a kick to half forward, but it's to the advantage of two Saints. Wilkie should be able to get there before the line. And he's got Howard in support. Cats do well to corral him and make the kick difficult. It might still work for Hill, but he fumbles. Clean that time from Ward, but swooping in is Stewart. Over the back, Henry in best position. And again, the Cats capitalise on a fumble.
Just brilliant caressing again. That's twice now we've seen the Cats take away the entirety of that corridor. So St Kilda, when they've got the ball, they've got only one avenue. That's up the line to go to. They're set up so well, they're coming forward to defend Geelong. Get a very kickable one on the end of it now.
Henry, 27-11 for the year. Steps around. And the Cats have got the first three. Scott, pre-game, talked about how at this time of the year it's about tuning up to play your best football. That involves punishing the opposition's mistakes, and so far Geelong have done exactly that. Pounced on a fumble, put 6 points on the board.
Days, I thought this kick by Osher Muller was really actually creative. He kicked it to a real defensive part on the ground, got Wilkie caught in, and the boys put him under pressure. And then off the back of that, just how polished Tom Stewart was. Tough, hard and skillful. Finds his teammate, Ollie Henry. Great start to the game by Ollie Henry too.
Powerful statement early here from the Cats. Win tonight guarantees them top four. And they go again through the avenue of Atkins. Wobbles one to the edge of 50. Good one for the defenders, Mitch Nevitt. To Shannon Neal, had to be a bit athletic and did pretty well to pick it up below his knees. Over the top grind, Myers flicked the handle to close. Stewart took on the tackler. Wilkie was up for it. But again, they're under some real pressure in their defensive end, the Saints.
Okay, Shannon.
Shannon Neal. Dangerfield fisted away from him by Hunter Clark. Regane Miller fighting as well as Clark got a scrambled kick out. Reece Stanley, Cooper Sharman collide. Sharman can't pick it up. Eventually, Zach Guthrie gets it to Humphreys. Inside 50 again, go the Cats. Big punch away. Mason Wood, awkward ball to pick up. Stewart Sweeney on the tackle. Picked up by Ollie Henry. Nevitt, some composure and skill. Out to Atkins. Jack Bowes, a little chip kick to close. The defender battles onto it, but it's still alive. Colin Jasny has pushed forward, got it back to Bowes, inside forward 50 and a mark. Taken by Mitch Owens, who's pushed deep into defence.
Great body control from Owens.
They're hanging on here, the Saints. A lot of pressure, 12 tackles already. They only had the 34 for the match last week. But there's two types of tackles. There's tackles for pressure, but there's also tackles because you're second to the ball. And at the moment, I feel it's the latter.
And Daisy spoke about the Geelong players just coming forward, pressing. It's definitely that ground Marvel Stadium, I reckon, where you've got to come at the attacking team.
They come here often, the Saints, the Cats rather. This is their first visit this year. Wilson, Jones, look at the Geelong numbers around him. Managed to feed it through to Owens. Everything seems to be under pressure at the moment for St Kilda. Humphreys again cuts it off. He's made a good start. 6 touch. Now they can control the tempo from the back half. Humphreys to Bowes. Smothered off his boot by Sharman. Back to Humphreys. So again, he'll look to poke a little hole in the zone. He does. To Myers. Chips it short. Now Cameron. Cameron cuts it inside to Humphreys. Patient build up from Geelong. Picking holes in the defence, and now they get the shot. It'll be Brad Close from 45 out as we head to Erin.
Yeah, JB, you said this is the first game for the Cats here tonight, but just looking from ground level, Saints aren't handling these conditions at all, fumbling, and Daisy said before, it's the team that does the simple things are going to come away with this, but they've played 7 of the last 8 here, the Saints, but it doesn't look like they're handling conditions at all.
Great start from the Cats, Erin. 45 out, Brad Close. It's tracking left for a minor score.
Days, I think if you haven't seen a lot of the Geelong play, you just saw a little glimpse of Lawson Humphreys and what he can do. The way that he supports his defence, taking marks off the opposition, but then the way that he was able just to manufacture taking the ball forward.
What a selection it looks to be. So mature age recruit, pick 63, Lawson Humphreys, and Cats. Remarkable record of getting their list management the top of the class. Here's battle under some pressure. Everything's under pressure for St Kilda at the moment. Sinclair dumps it long. Henry well positioned. Their intercept marking game has been on song as well. The Cats. Ollie Dempsey. There is Humphreys. Back to Ollie Dempsey. Interesting kick. Jeremy Cameron's eyes lit up for a moment, but couldn't quite complete it.
Well, it does become the frustration of the rest of the AFL does. You look at Geelong with what they are able to do, and you sit there going, how did 17 other list managers, scouts miss this bloke? Looks like a bona fide 200-game player in only game 7.
Dangerfield off the tap. Ricochets towards Henry, and again they've got numbers swooping past. Dempsey to Holmes. Off the left, awkward looking kick, another fumble. This time battle. Howard just hoisted high to clear the zone. Stanley worked under it by Marshall. Hill looks up, has only got Higgins to go to, so he'll kick it wide up for Membry. Well done, Henry. Read it beautifully in the air. Drifted across and timed it perfectly.
Again, Jack Henry able to get in that position too, because the Geelong numbers were coming at Brad Hill, made him kick it a little bit higher. Jack got involved.
And St Kilda's defended for so much of this first quarter. They've lost all shape ahead of the footy. You look up there as a ball carrier, and you've got to manufacture a check side 40 metres. It's not what you want from an offensive point of view.
So, Daisy, how do you get that back without having to wait till quarter time?
Yeah, well, the best thing is any sort of contest. So if this goes out of bounds, you can reset the field. But when you win the ball back, make Geelong defend for a minute or two. Try and find a little bit of hit mark.
Henry to Manor. Geelong's disposal going forward has been so precise. Myers back to Manor. Waits a little chip kick towards Close. Turns his man. Pops a handball intended for Nevitt. Well done, Wanganeen Miller up. Now Hill. They'll try to link up here. Important hand in there from Myers. Great pressure. Brian Myers, well done. Sums up what the Cats have brought in this first quarter. Made everything a real grind for the Saints, which is usually what St Kilda do to other teams.
Yeah, it was brilliant. The first effort on Wanganeen Miller, but also to body check. So he couldn't get the initial 1-2 from Bradley Hill. Stayed in it. Just pressured the small forwards, Joel. We said they'd have an impact tonight. Looks like they've certainly come ready to hunt.
Holmes bursts away from the stoppage with speed. Dangerous kick to the top of the square. Wilkie got a little better than everyone else. As he often does, Cal Wilkie. Mason Wood. What's happened is just not a lot that is happening in terms of good movement. So he's going to kick it on the line. Jack Higgins did brilliantly well there. Great contested mark. Able to get the running game going at the moment. Precise kick required. Stewart committed his body with everything. Humphreys has been brilliant to Dempsey. Well-crafted kick, that one. Shannon Neal, he's got a man out over the top. He's going to head there. Chance for Ollie Henry. The kick was smart. Summed it up well to Shannon Neal, and the Cats have got all the answers.
On the back, another midfield turnover to Tom Stewart, Mitch Owens. I tell you what, you don't want to be the cheese in between that sandwich, Days. But the bounce off that, Ollie Dempsey just not thinking, taking time with the kick, turning and going. Shannon Neal the same. Ollie Henry just pushing forward. It's his opportunity.
Traded by the Magpies on the final day of the trade period last year. Ollie Henry joined his brother Jack, and very dangerous forward option. That's not his best effort. behind post.
So the Saints are trying to do the same thing in terms of moving the ball on quickly, Days, but just can't get men in the right position. They just can't get open the way Geelong are.
Yeah, so a little bit like what we were talking about before from Geelong going to that one-on-one defence. When you looked up, you just got to take what the game's giving you. So for St Kilda at the minute, don't worry about being on the open side. Get numbers down to the contest here and back your tools to provide a contest, but then outnumber at ground level. And if that goes out of bounds, do it again. You may have to roll the sleeves up, get dirty for a minute or two, but you can't just let this ball keep ping-ponging and rebounding in.
Steele's kick belted over the line by Stewart. So what's the message from Ross Lyon at quarter time then, Joel? How do you rejig this to try and get it the way you want it?
It's such a good point that Days is making, that when it gets kicked to the contest, yeah, it's great to have numbers there, but we've got to start winning these contests too, because the flow on from that will start to open up the forward line.
They win a contest here. Marshall, Wood, another fumble. Well done, Jones. Then draws the man. Owens will give it back to him. Zach Jones, industrious in the opening term. Membry will come at this one. He's got Higgins versus Humphreys. He's got Butler deep. And he's got Wilson deep. So he needs the tools to track back. Kamanides heading down there now. So something to kick to. Heads in that direction. It'll get over the back. Maybe for Wilson. Maybe for Dempsey. For Wilson. Saints get there first. Will this be reviewed? It'll certainly be looked at upstairs anyway. Cats are adamant.
Darcy Wilson setting up too, so I think he knows what's about to happen. Strange, but there's no Geelong players even setting up here at bigger positions.
So here's another look. Was it knocked through by Dempsey? Did Wilson get any contact below his knee?
Not through. Well done from Ollie Dempsey.
It's going to go back.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, they said the ball comes off the Geelong defender's hand last before crossing the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
So the Cats were up instantly.
Great bit of camera work, because it was almost in the motion that it looked like it had come off Wilson's boot. Good effort from Dempsey, getting back as the winger. Joel, you've seen that message a bit. What was the frustration there from Chris?
Oh, I think it may have been towards the umpires again, Dave, believe it or not. To be honest, it was never towards his players. He was always very calm and patient.
Darcy Wilson's face told the story. He knew instantly that wasn't a goal. Here come the Cats again. They were dangerous on the rebound. Mason Woods won it back. Howard had a fresh hand swing with a handball if you... So that too often is Hunter Clark. Down the line, Blitzar's in good position. And again, intercept mark across the defensive zone for the Cats.
Just the detail is so good back there, the way that they're able to protect each other, but always have that extra number.
Jack Bowes more patient as we head towards the quarter-time siren. It's been a pretty complete first quarter. This for the Cats. Hunter Clark puts his hands on his heads and can't believe it.
It is a bit of a weird one because the roof is closed, but even when we were just having a little kick down there is a little bit of shine on the ground, a little bit of condensation, a little bit of dew. So the Cats obviously not having as much trouble with the Saints, but those little things watching it right in, when it can just be a touch slippery, or maybe being far too kind here to the Saints, but there was something.
Been clean in the opening term, or as clean the Saints. As we've mentioned a couple of times, Geelong there to punish them at every opportunity. That's going to be insufficient intent. Still time for the Cats here. Stewart wastes none of it towards half forward. That's a fantastic grab in from the side by Marshall. And an important one. The Saints just need to run down the clock and be tidy. Kennedy arrives late. Membry gets some territory. Now Higgins has got an open goal square. Myers is tracking back quickly. Higgins spots it now. But Myers is in position. And the chance to maybe launch a barrel before anyone got back has gone. And so Myers can take care of that one. As Geelong take care of the opening term. Professional performance from the Cats. They're 3-2-20. St Kilda 3 behinds on Saturday night footy.
All right, quarter time here, Marvel Stadium, and it's all Geelong, 3-2-20, doing a fantastic job against St Kilda, just 3 behinds. Of course, Geelong look like they're in control of this game. The Saints need to come back. They need to lift. They need to find a little bit of their mojo. Need to end this game off well. And, of course, their season off with a little bit of pride and something to go into next season with. Mark, how you going? L Adventure Vlogs, how you going, Squire? Ryan, thanks for dropping in there, young fella. Good to see you. Good to see you. Of course, Al's happy he's wearing his Sydney Swans jumper. I saw that, I think, over in Addy G's live when you're up there on the panels. Good stuff. Good stuff, young man. Let's have a quick look at the stats here. Zach Jones there for the Saints leads the way on 11 possessions with Lawson Humphries on 11, Callum White, Wilkie on 10. We'll just run down. Tommy Stewart, always a star. He's on 9. Myers on 7. Atkins 7. Mason Wood on 6. We'll just keep going down. Jack Steele, there he is on 5. Needs to do a little bit more, get into the action a little bit more also. Paddy Dangerfield, only the 4 touches in the opening quarter. I'm sure we'll see a little bit more of Paddy coming soon around the ground. We go Bradley Hill, only with the 3. Stay hunky, you're back. Good stuff. No on stream Port match, so I'm coming here. Oh, you know what? I tossed up. I tossed up between this match and the Port Adelaide and Adelaide match. I just thought Geelong might have been a little bit more popular. I was thinking to myself, who was being televised and who wasn't? You know, I was so close to doing that, the Derby match. I thought that's the match I was going to do. And I'm not sure what happened, how I ended up on this match. But that was the match I originally was going to do. Can you believe it? I probably should have done the Port match or the Port Adelaide match. But that's all right. Next week, my gosh. Yeah, I should have decided to do that Port Adelaide game because I think that'll be a good game. Goal scorers: Shannon Neal, Manning, and Henry. So only the 3 goal scorers so far. Lawson Humphries on top in the fantasy points, 47. Wilkie 41. Marshall on 40. Yeah, I think I should have done that game. I wish I'd have done that game now. Oh, there we go. There we go. So the disposals, only about 11 the difference there by the Cats. Kicks, there we go. 13, that's where the difference comes in, the handballs. Inside 50s, 11 insides for the Saints for only 3 behinds. I see what they need to lift in that department. 12 inside 50s for 5 scoring shots. 3-2 to the Catters. They're doing well. 97% of the people are after the Cats tonight. Highest goes for this week. Oh yeah, in the poll, exactly right. This is like a one-act affair, this one. It'd be interesting to see what the poll says for tomorrow's games as well. Free kicks, only 3 apiece. Not much happening there. The efficiency, 66, 65, both a little bit low there. Inside efficiency, Saints need to lift in that department. Hit-outs, pretty even. Clearances, St Kilda doing a little bit better there by 5. Centre clearances, the Cats on top there. And the Saints on the stoppage clearances, they're on top there. There you contested possessions. Not too far away from the start of the second quarter here. So everything is around about even. Apart from the marks, Cats dominating there, finding their loose players, controlling the play a lot more, 35-19. Marks inside 50. The defence, well, there we go. Cats running rampant, 4-1. Marks inside 50. Already at quarter time, above the average there. Let's go down and have a look at the tackles there. Tackles 16-13, both bringing the heat, both bringing the tackles there. And tackles inside 50, 4-3. So she's pretty level there. But it will be interesting to see what happens. Can the Saints come back in the second quarter? I'm sure they will. Let me just drop that over there and back there. We've got 46 seconds before we go. This is the live ladder at the moment. Let's just have a little bit of a a sneak peek at the other match in progress at the moment, and that, of course, is the end of the first quarter over in Adelaide, where Port Adelaide take on Adelaide. And it's Port Adelaide 2-3-15 trail the Adelaide Crows 2-5-17 at quarter time. So there we go. That is the live ladder, and that is why if Adelaide is leading, the Geelong Cats win tonight, they'll go in the third spot. So should be pretty interesting. But if Port Adelaide win tonight, then those positions will change, I would imagine. 3%, I'm not sure whether 3% will change unless Geelong has a big victory in this game tonight. But it should be pretty good. Geelong in control of the match at the moment, but we'll take you back down to the ground because they are only seconds away from the start of the second quarter.
Said that during the week. They want to throw everything at these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they want to spoil the party for some of these teams. I mean, Geelong, as you say, top 4, top 2 is right on the agenda for them.
Yeah.
So they actually want to win by margin too and boost their percentage and make sure that they're ticking all the right boxes. They've got pretty good form over the last couple of months, and there aren't many teams in form heading into September, Jonesy. So that's the key for the Cats. But he would just be disappointed with that first half hour, but he'd be happy with the knowledge that the contest is still wide open.
Percentage is such a great point you make because it will come down to percentage at the end of the year. The Cats are a long way off that tonight. They need to secure the 4 points first, and that man, Patrick Dangerfield, I'm sure will have a big say in how the Cats go tonight at Marvel Stadium as they take their positions for the second quarter. What do the Cats need to do here, Jace?
Well, they just need to keep doing what they're doing and gradually get on top, work their way over the Saints. The Saints have done a good job on Jeremy Cameron. He hasn't had an impact yet, so a lot to play for. Here we go.
Let's head back to Marvel Stadium. You're watching it all unfold right here on Fox Footy.
So the job in front of the Saints. Ross Lyon kept them a long time in that quarter-time break. You really wanted to try and get their structure organised over the top from Mullen to close. Sinclair wants the boundary line and able to get it.
And that's one of the few times we've actually seen St Kilda come forward. So Wanganeen Miller there came off to impact coming forward rather than retreating to defend.
There's Osher Mullen going to Brad Hill. There's a bit of cat and mouse before that first bounce there. Found him out on the wing. Ollie Dempsey's gone back.
Stocker couldn't get a handle on it. Stewart, here is Ollie Dempsey. That one hangs in the air a little bit. Sets up Max Holmes, who got collected.
Free kick's been paid. Thank you.
Just a little clumsy. There's the late hit from Cooper Sharman. Free kick to Holmes, who's always playing on, always keen to get the game moving. Stanley had a piece of it, or didn't Mitch Nevitt. It looked like Reece Stanley, but nice mark for young Mitch Nevitt, just playing his 14th AFL game, his 4th for the year. A big moment for him.
Nice, put his mark, put his name on it. If you like seeing that, got a nice matchup. He's a big, tall mid, Dace, who's had ability to do this on a number of occasions throughout the VFL.
This will make him feel full of confidence. Mitch Nevitt, big mark, big goal. First 4 goals of the game for the Cats. He is a big midfielder, isn't he? You just saw him alongside Reece Stanley, the ruckman. Tall, athletic type. That's a huge confidence builder for Mitch Nevitt.
Well, hopefully Ross hadn't made his way up to the box just yet to see this one because he'd be very disappointed there. It's a nice mark from Nevitt. He got the 12-centimetre height advantage there on his direct opponent in Burns. When you can take those marks, big pack marks, and not get a spoil through, the coach from one side loves it, from the other side absolutely hates it. A little bit of Grant Tanner. As a Cats fan growing up, I see a little bit there.
Yeah, like it. Here's Jones. Bustled out of it. Holmes surges it forward. Stengel. Dangerfield from 55. Pins the ears back. Goes for home and kicks it. Goal number 333 in game number 334 for Patrick Dangerfield.
Well, we spoke about him putting his cape on last week. He's put it on again this week. Reece Stanley, great contest in the middle. Tyson Stengel. And Geelong fans will never get sick of that. Paddy Dangerfield breaking the edge of the square, putting it straight over the umpire's head.
It's 9 weeks this year with hamstring issues, Danger, but how good for Cats fans to see him fully fit and firing on the eve of finals. A win tonight, they are guaranteed top 4 Geelong. Extraordinary period of success under Chris Scott. Continues, and they are a live threat. Mark taken nicely. Caminiti. Can the Saints get their first major on the back of this build-up? He's going to come through the corridor. He wants Stocker. They're closing in around him. Then Stocker within range. Potentially.
It was the one time the Cats didn't have a spare back too, and they chose to go across the ground. A bit risky, but Liam Stocker, a great kick.
First round pick back in the 2018 draft. Pick number 19 overall. He spent 4 years at the Carlton Football Club. Well, the Saints got him as a pre-season pick last year. Looking for the first major of the night for St Kilda. Stocker, long-range shot has just drifted through for a behind.
His first score as a Saint in his 15th game. Quick kick in to the outer side. Neil takes the grab.
I'm not sure what you'd be looking for in that St Kilda box now, Joel. You've asked for a response. It hasn't come. The red lights will be flashing everywhere. You don't want to have to park numbers behind the footy because then you can't really attack.
We've spoken about just getting the hands on the ball and how they can use each other up on the way through, like similar to what Geelong's doing right now.
The Cats are really giving St Kilda a dose of their own medicine. Good contest there. From Steele, got it to ground. But Myers swoops in and controls it. Humphreys, again, they go short, control the football.
But this work ethic and the outnumbering that Geelong are doing to the next contest is just so impressive.
Nevitt's kick. Cameron can wind and go here from 55. Well done, Wangadeen Miller. Was a wake up to it. Cut across. Sharman now's got a man out. It's Wilson, who's got Higgins out if he can get it over the top. Good work on the mark from Manor. So Wilson has to go by hand. Allows the Cats some time to get back. Battle goes the short option to a 50-50. Away comes Wilson. Will drive it low, inside 50. There's Higgins still there. Turns, delivers to Steele, and he's got it.
Got it through. They got it through in the end, but it wasn't throughout being in a marking contest the whole time.
Just managed to catch the Geelong defence on the hop. One of the few times so far this evening, and a critical kick here for Jack Steele. As good as Geelong have been, kick this and it's only a 22-point margin. He settles the Saints with their first of the night. So that's the upside for St Kilda fans. As dominant as Geelong have been at having the game on their own terms, margin of 22 points. Bigger question now for the Saints is, can they get it back on their terms?
Well, this Sinclair handball to Wilson was really important, just getting a little bit of run in their game. It's off the back of a nearly turnover, but you've got to take those opportunities. We said when it goes to a 50-50, they're going to have to start winning them to get back into this game.
Last 2 scores of the game for St Kilda. Can they build some momentum on the back of this little patch held underneath?
And he was knocked on the ball. Knocked on the ball. Okay, Reece. Boys.
The direction out there for all players. Mullen wins it forward in the direction of Gary Rowan. Wilkie going step for step. There's a clever handball to Jeremy Cameron. Dempsey, a little party trick from Ollie Dempsey. Didn't quite connect with Neil. It's going to come back through the hands of Bowes. Centering kick. Hunter Clark got back. And they're pretty well set up there, St Kilda. Hunter Clark with the chest mark. Drives it out of defence. Oh, big launch. Mitch Owens deserved the mark. It's enabled him to get it through to Rowan Marshall, and he gets it to Cooper Sharman.
So a better couple of minutes here for the Saints. Starting to get something going. Butler on the run. Brings it inside. Membry presents within range. He's got Battle calling for it. The lead is offered short from Wilson. Membry will take the option of Jack Sinclair right on 50. And some loose checking from the Cats allows Jack Steele to get another look.
It's a nice build-up in the end. Good patience around the 50-metre arc. Good effort there from Owens. He's got freed up now, so it's Liam Stocker who continues to go to Tom Stewart now, which has freed up Owens. And I like that move from Ross Lyon. Owens is a ball getter. Not a negator, run, jump, go and get it. The good patience around the top of 50 here. Found the best look on goal. And now over to the skipper again.
And he kicked back-to-back goals and give the Saints a bit of momentum for the first time tonight. It's working its way back and flips the post.
Just can't let this now fly straight back out. This should be the highest importance from the Saints here. Make sure you get a good look, get some territory, get the ball up your end. Just force Geelong to defend for a couple of minutes.
They just have had momentum for the last period. As you point out, Daisy, and they'd love to keep that pressure going. Goes out of bounds off the hands of Stengels. Ross, always fascinating body language around Ross Lyon. Love a mic in there to hear Ross's thoughts at the moment. The genius is that they haven't played well and the scoreboard is far from got out of control. Another goal would make it very interesting. Manners kicked down the line. Big launch at it from Gary Rowan. Zach Jones picked it up cleanly. Hands it back to Battle, but under some good catch pressure. Rowan just surges the kick forward. Picked up by Wilkie. Did well, Shannon Neal, to apply more pressure. They're still having to fight hard. Bradley Hill happy to see it out of bounds.
Doesn't need to be pretty sometimes. Contest. Just taking territory. It's what Ross spoke about during the week. He'd love it to be living down his end. The Cats got the upper hand.
6 zipping clearances this term, all to Geelong after they were beaten in that category in the opening term. Saints have loved one here. They're not going to get it. Myers, Manor. Maybe for Sinclair to pinch it, he does. Wilson's got a runner. It's Clark, and away go the Saints again. It's a 2-on-1. Sharman just needs to contest. Can't quite. Did his best, and Henry took the double grabber. Saints fans don't like the call. Bowes looks to switch. Draws the man. Olajasny's the first option. Saints trying to push across and close down the exits. Olajasny will go towards Dempsey. He'll have the fly. Burns. Marshall. Handball missed the target. Wilkie. Well done, Rowan. And then it was a high shot from Stewart coming in on Webster. So it'll be a free kick to the Saints. Steadily, at least stabilising the situation, does.
They've had some opportunities in recent times, the Saints. They're going to go across the ground through Dougal Howard. Bradley Hill.
It's a poor option. When you go backwards, give away territory, and you know or you don't know where the next ball's going. And here we go. But generally, if you're switching, you want to see the next piece of the puzzle.
It's resulted in a direct turnover. Now they've got to defend with everything they've got. Dempsey, dangerous chance here. If he can bounce it through, they've got underneath Cal Wilkie. You can't believe what just happened. Goal for Dempsey. It's a wry smile, but he sees no humour in that, Ross, I can promise you. The oval-shaped ball does funny things, and Ollie Dempsey made it talk.
Well, Ollie Dempsey's had an outstanding year. It's this sort of play, contest to contest, where he's able just to generate these little smart little football things that a basketball background definitely helps with those little tricks that you can play. But He's been a sensational player for the Cats this year, still growing. The Pies wanted to get their hands on him with the Ollie Henry trade, but Cats knew how important he was.
He's the rising star favourite. Played every game, kicked 20 goals now, averaged 17 possessions a game. It's been a really consistent year. And he restores a 27-point lead for the Cats. Blitzarves tries to take it from the ruck. Bowes. Atkins, back to Bowes. Atkins comes across and they work it again. Good pressure from Butler.
Advantage.
Myers draws the traffic, gives it to Bowes. To half forward. Howard got the punch. Here's Dempsey again. Thinks about his options. The hit's working. Quick kick to Wood. He decides he's going to go. Short down the line to Burns, and this is the St Kilda game they want to try and get going. Second in the league for uncontested marks and short kicks. Membry over the top. Created a contest. Higgins, Membry, back to Higgins. Expansive handball. Wood can pop one over the top. Doesn't hit the target. Wanganeen Miller has got to go. Got a couple to beat. Did well. Down the step. Through some traffic. High kick. They'll contest 25 out. Owens, 2 grabs. Sharman, Higgins, goal. Important response from the Saints. Gets it back to 21 points. Jack Higgins with his 32nd of the season.
Well, there's Higgins on the wing, getting involved a couple of times. But once he sniffed that the Saints are out, he was head down. Great work rate off ball. You see him there flying into screen. Good contest again from Owens. And then right place, right time. But again, it doesn't have to be pretty. You just have to find a way when the game's not going your way to complete your plays, scrap, show up in numbers, and then make the most of the opportunity.
Outstanding work rate from Jack Higgins, pushing super hard. They might get another opportunity here. St Kilda, the flying shot from Membry, just offline, but they've had some good moments, St Kilda, in the first half of the second term. Wilson Humphries, so much composure. And someone playing their 8th game. Short one is okay to Zach Guthrie. Happy to share it with College Asney.
Push in the back, Geelong.
Good kick going against Ryan Burns, so the Cats get a little pressure valve release here to grind
Marks
lines.
here. We can go outside.
It's the patience you were talking about, Days. Zach Guthrie was coming out looking to do a long kick, just pulled it, kicked it to College Asney. Allows them to get 70 metres up the ground.
Just no need for that free kick though. Take the stoppage, centre forward, you're a chance then. Manufacture something. Now you've just handed the ball back and it'll be going into Geelong's half.
Increase. He's looking for Dangerfield. Good pressure from Stocker. Lee's forced it to ground. Then lays the tackle. Humphries wants to try and keep it moving. Saints force the turnover. Clark, it's a 3-on-2 in the air. Ball hits the ground. Butler stayed down. Great tackle. Stopped in his tracks by College Asney.
Stand.
So it was 3-on-2 because Butler stayed down. But Jake pounced so quickly to shut it down.
Play on.
High to the wing. Rowan presents. It'll get over the back. A chance here for Clark.
Brave kick through the corridor. It lands perfectly low for Sinclair. This is a good build-up here for St Kilda. Paddy Dowd's got it.
Play on.
Streaming forward, St Kilda options. Holmes one-on-one with Membry. Membry got him out the back. Guthrie came, lent some support. Higgins always works super hard, and that was clever. Had some vision and enough sense to go back to Wanganeen Miller, who goes short to Sinclair, not the required journey. Oh, it's been turned over now. Bowes steps through the Wanganeen Miller and tackle, and you hear the Saints fans. They aren't happy. Webster won a good one-on-one. They rebound back again. Jones's kick will be okay, and Mason Wood He's just been told to settle down and go back and see if he can score from there.
And this is the right option. Go back, you're a good kick at the football, you've got to back yourself in, especially with the frenetic pace that last couple of passage of play went at. Go back, soak it up, you can get set behind the ball even if you miss here. Levelling up the inside 50s now, the Saints just need to capitalise on that scoreboard.
We've got the last 5 inside 50s, Daisy. They'd love to get some scoreboard reward for it. That won't make the distance and easily taken care of for a rush behind.
Interesting psychology. Wanganeen Miller has kicked 1-7 for the year. He doesn't take the shot from that spot, tries to give it off. Mason Wood takes on the responsibility, but drops it short. Guthrie with the kick in. Just under 7.5 remaining in the opening half. Webster read it at the back, but then Saltsteel into trouble. It'll work okay because Sinclair can square it. Saints starting to get more corridor ball. Battle, beautifully weighted. And Wood, similar position. He plays on this time, leaves nothing to chance, and kicks St Kilda's third. So having not nailed the set shot previously, decided he'd just play on and put it to bed. Brings them back within 14 points, and they've had 9 scoring shots to 8.
Jimmy Webster's got in the road for the Cats the last couple of times. I like what he's been able to do, bring it back through the corridor. And Mason Woods found himself on the end of both of them. But they've got to keep winning those 50-50, the Saints, to stay in this game.
9 inside 50s for the quarter for the 3 goals 3. They're certainly getting looks. It becomes an easier sell now when it felt like they've been dominated for the first quarter and a half of this one.
Saints get back-to-back goals for the first time this evening. Jeremy Cameron, as he so often does, is the right man at the right time.
It's a smart little tap from Paddy Dangerfield in the middle. Frees up the leg speed, the quick feed of Max Holmes.
Superstar of the competition, Jeremy Cameron, one of only 36 players to be in the 600 goal club in VFL AFL history, and he's got plenty more goals left in the tank. And Jezza delivers when they need it. That draws Jeremy Cameron level with the great David Neitz from the Melbourne Football Club with 631 goals. What a fine career. There's Jeremy Cameron.
Well, just straight from the centre clearance. There's that tap you're talking about, Sal. But the ability here to connect with the forwards, not blaze away, lower your eyes, lace out. Good luck to Josh Battle trying to defend that. And then the finish as well. Just rolled back from the paint. Absolutely flushed it.
Clearance is 8-2 now this quarter in favour of the Cats. It's become a problem for the Saints. And Holmes tries to win another one. Here they go again. Dempsey on the outside of the boot is brilliant to Manor.
Dempsey's just clever. He tries things that other young players won't try at times. But again, Max Holmes' quick feet through the middle. Clever little tap on.
That is brilliant. Just putting that check side, still going at pace.
Sean Manor, 81 VFL games, now 9 AFL games. It's been a long road to get here. But now that he's here, he's making himself at home. He's kicked 2 goals in his last 4 games now. And the Cats back out to a 26-point lead.
Well, they've taken it to the forward flank without a genuine possession until it gets in the hands of Dempsey. But the execution of that, the quick look inboard, the little check side dinky kick is first class. That is as good as you'll see from a small forward. Clever execution and the best look on goal.
Geelong free kick, umpire contact. Geelong free kick. Reece.
You see too often, is it? Umpire contact free kick. And then he's handed it to Darcy Wilson, who either picked the pocket or may have called for it. Cooper Sharman's got the mark.
Stand now.
Cats are well set up in defence, so Sharman having to take the full allotment of time. Comes back into the corridor to Stocker. And Liam Stocker happy to put this in the Rowan Marshall direction. He's going to get through to the Big Saints. Ruckman and did, but the Cats are all over it. Bose linking up, gets it to Dangerfield. Well tackled by Wanganeen Miller. Colin Jasny has got a bit of an issue, but it will be a ball. Let's go back to the umpire contact. What do you make of that one?
Well, Darcy's not doing you Ruckman any favours, but Max Holmes just too quick for him. Darcy Wilson, very clever. The detail to get on top of Max Holmes.
Dangerfield tracks it. Steele tracks him. Takes the contact, pumps the handball over the top. Maybe a chance now for the Cats to run onto it. Mullins lightning quick. Cameron keeps it moving forward. Stengel. Beautiful touch to close. He gives it off. 45 out. Stengel goes bang. Classy from the Cats. And as Days has mentioned a couple of times, it doesn't need to be pretty. Just keep it moving forward, create some space, and let your forwards do the rest. Another productive season for Tyson Stengel. Goal 39 for him.
Well set up off the back of Mullins' run here. He's playing on Brad Hill tonight, and he's doing a great job within this side for his 16th game. And Tyson Stengel, the class at the end, the inside 50, and then bang, you'll get him in that spot every time, Dave.
Well, the Saints got it back to 14 points, and then it's gone whooshka very quickly.
Bruce Stanley, clean possession, sends the Cats back inside forward 50. Sinclair tumbles it out of defence. Burns trying to surge it forward to Higgins. Cats pressure elite again. Humphries did really well to get it to Holmes. Going to honour that lead up from Shannon Neal. Good defensive effort from Wilkie. Bo's got a tidy little hand in there, picked up though by Wilkie. But how well set up are the Cats. Jeremy Cameron ignoring the touch play on call and sold his mate Tom Stewart into all sorts of trouble.
The Saints dominated the clearances in the opening term 11-6. It's now 11-2 Geelong's way in this second term. It's become a real problem. They get one here. Battle's kick partly smothered. Well on Humphries. Took the contact, released the handball. Holmes. Manor. Back to Humphries. Spots Atkins. Great vision and execution from Lawson Humphries. Off the bench comes Myers. Calls for the football. Has a bounce. Doesn't quite come back. Steps around, Stocker with the greatest of ease, and he fashions a kick inside 50 to Stengel.
Just to that kick to sum it up, like it is the hardest kick in the game going inside 50, and Geelong have been able to find that one coming up at the player on the last few occasions.
You talk about those stoppages becoming a factor. That's 5 straight Geelong have scored from stoppage. 3 of those centre clearance.
That's how they've gone whack, 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 isn't it? Just getting it down their end. The sheer dominance around the contest. Stengel for his second of the term. 48 metres out.
showed a bit of that to Atkins. Still was up to it. Gets it back to Wanganeen Miller. And that is a rare mistake off the boot of the sire, out of bounds on the floor. It's not the way Ollie Dempsey sees the game. You can just see his eyes surveying everything, and he's, as you said, Joe, he's prepared to do things that other young players aren't. You hope that's never coached out of him. Awkward one to defend for Marshall. They're fighting on. Some pressure here applied directly in front of goal, but Cats really feel comfortable in the way this game is unfolding.
Dangerous position for a stoppage. Burns.
Holding. St Kilda.
A free kick. Relieve a bit of pressure with inside 2 minutes. Need a bit of kick mark for the Saints. Wanganeen Miller is the first, and now to Wilkie. Marshall works down the line. He's covered by Cameron. Wilkie out of the contest. Caminiti wants to get involved in the game. Off the hands of Henry. Atkins missed Nevitt with the handball. Pushing out to 33 points. Game high after the Saints rallied midway through the term. Geelong off the back of their clearance dominance put them to the sword.
Marshall diving to the ground to try and win that hit out. Manor, don't argue, effective and found a way to get it to Mitch Nevitt. Just going to dump this one as long and to the danger zone as possible. Webster, great tackle. Brilliant effort to trap it in there. Tyson Stengel involved in that. Little sleight of hand. It was heading back to Mullen. Picked up nicely, Mitch Nevitt. Saints defending earnestly back here. Stripped out of the hands of Wanganeen Miller. Grind Myers applying some pressure. Quick kick comes out. Henry's been an immovable object back there tonight. His intercept marking, he's been outstanding, Jack Henry.
Cats can set up for one last scoring opportunity. Out comes Neil. Webster thought about the kick, and the handball was a good option, but Clark's kick smothered. Pressure remains. Well done, Wanganeen Miller. Critical tackle there on Manor.
Stand.
15 seconds for the Saints to be precise.
Commanding half-time lead. The contest probably feels a little closer than what the scoreboard indicates. Jason Dunsall, Davey King and Joey Montagna. The Cats are looking the goods at the minute.
They are. They're pretty much in cruise mode now. It looked in the first half of that second quarter that the Saints had fought their way back into it. Then they just lost a handle on too many mistakes, and we'll look at the score sources soon. Stoppages are killing them.
Yeah, first quarter, St Kilda turned the ball over, weren't using it too well. They used it better in the second term, but every time they sort of got a goal, Geelong were able to score out of stoppage and just get one back really quickly to keep that margin at about 5 or 6 goals.
I mean, turnovers is intercepts supposed to be the big score source, but when you get 5 goals in a half from stoppages, too much. Ross would be having kittens over that.
3 of those from centre bounces.
Yeah.
So just when they were wrestling themselves back into the game, the Saints, I'll tell you what, Geelong did a great job just stopping them moving the ball in the first quarter, and it felt like St Kilda had wrestled back some momentum in this game. So it's a tight one. It feels like a lot tighter than 33 points.
It does. It does. Joey, you want to have a look at the Cats' intercept marking in that first term?
Yeah, it's always a known when you play against the Cats. You've got to be careful not to allow their interceptors to get a hold and start the rebound. And I thought the first quarter, St Kilda were pretty poor at that. They just kept kicking the ball long and high. And we know that plays into Geelong's hands. They took 7 intercept marks in the first quarter alone. So, as Ross Lyon used to say, that's world record pace. They would have taken 28 for the game if that continued. In particular, Jack Henry and Lawson Humphries have been excellent. They've had the 12 intercepts between them at half-time, and they were really controlling it. So every time St Kilda did go forward like this, that's just not going to cut it against the Cats. We know that. So I thought in the second quarter, as I said, St Kilda used the ball much better. They took 9 marks inside 50 compared to only 1 in that first term. Just weren't able to get enough bang for buck, and they did control the ball a bit better. They obviously spoke about it, went off the lines, changed angles, skills, and they did look better offensively.
Those are our first half highlights with thanks to Telstra. You just can't afford to let your opposition have that free run, can you, Kingy?
No, you can't. And when you look at St Kilda's ability to move the ball, we've talked about that all year, that they actually stack up really well in the competition. Number one, scoring out of the defensive half. They've had to rely on it tonight, Chase, because they are getting belted at clearance and the ball's living down the St Kilda defensive end. So they've been forced into this sort of play, which this is good work in the second quarter. That handball receive game, they look really slick. They scored 15 points out of the defensive half of the quarter. That's a massive game, quarter I should say, because they average 36 points a game. These sorts of bravery here, that kick, that's a great kick.
Yeah.
Opens the whole thing up, and they were able to really get their game going. But every time I went back to the middle, they coughed up a goal to Geelong from stoppage, from centre bounce work, which they're smashing them 10-2. So Ross would be really devastated with some of their midfield work and structural stuff at clearance. But we're still at the same names again, Joe. Yeah, and the same players all the time.
Yeah, and this has been a thing for St Kilda all year. They know their midfield's not strong enough. But you'd think against the Cats, who aren't the strongest midfield, I know they've got Dangerfield back, which we spoke about pre-game's made a difference, and Tom Stewart. But yeah, if they can't break even at centre bounce, you lose field position, and then you give up scores on the back of it. Doesn't matter how else you move the ball. You've got to be able to stop the Cats.
You can't reward these guys with opportunity in there though. Like Dow's going to go in there. You have to have more than 5 touches at midfielder these days. In a half of football, you've got to be tougher and you've got to be better than that.
You've been very busy in the lab, Kingy. You've been having a look at the Cats' defence, not allowing the Saints to switch.
Yeah, first half. So clearly Chris Scott wants to disarm the Saints, and once you sort of see what he's up to with the pressure game and not allowing the switch. So he wants this game to live in contest. He doesn't want to allow them to horseshoe around the half-back flank. And just look how quickly. So it looks like they're out here. Looks like they're going to get out that right-hand side over the top. We've seen Wanganeen Miller get this handball received 100 times through the course of it, not tonight. Not in the first half, and the first quarter, I should say. And they were able to force them into the turnovers you talked about earlier, Joey, and come back and score. So just look at the setups. I mean, they just force them wide, and then they all just roll up and deny the switch long down the line, back into contest again, Jason.
Yeah, which is exactly what they want you to kick it long to contest, then they turn it over. So we saw that one kick into the centre before. They've got to have some players that are prepared to actually take some risk-reward opportunities where you push a kick and if it comes off, it gives you a great opportunity to go down and score.
And just look how quickly they arrive to support here with that bang.
Well, they've outnumbered St Kilda everywhere around the ball, haven't they?
They know Saints want to go short, get that overlap, so you can really squeeze, be aggressive with the squeeze and turn the ball over in the front half rather than waiting to get back in the back half.
Joey, the Cats have to be ruthless here. It doesn't matter how big the lead is now. They need to get the 4 points, but also try and sneak home a percentage boost.
Yeah, they do, and they're a professional team. You think they will. They're not. You don't think they're going to cough up a 30-point lead and lose this game to St Kilda. The Saints are going to have to take all sorts of risks, but you back the Cats in from here.
It's also the brand of football. Are they playing the brand that you like to see just on the eve of the finals, the Cats, Kingy?
Well, it hasn't been brilliant. Yeah. It's been workmanlike, but he just doesn't give the opposition a chance. That's what I like about the way Chris coaches. He disarms them.
Workmanlike and on a roll might be enough to win the premiership in 2024. Plenty of news is going to be addressed after the break. David Zeta's going to bring us all of the day's breaking news. But first, let's head to Sportsbet.
Huge game for the Blues, and with their two big forwards.
All right, half-time here at Marvel Stadium. And as this Cats doing it well, 9-3-57, leading the Saints 3-6-24. At least the Saints there, well, they're a little bit better, even though the Cats kicked 6 goals, 1. Saints kicked 3 goals, 3. It was a little bit better from them. We need to see that as well, because the Saints aren't too bad of a team. It's just they need to get a few things going right their way. All right, let's have a little bit of a browse now. Half-time, see who the disposals getter are on the ground that's leading, and that's Lawson Humphries with 19, 14 kicks, 5 handballs, 7 marks, 2 tackles. Jake Bowles with 16, Callum Wilkie with 13, Tommy Stewart with 12, Sinclair with 12, Tom Atkins 12. There we go, just run down there for you for a little bit. Paddy Dangerfield, still only 9, so he's had a quiet first half as Jack Steele and Jack Higgins there with 9 and 10 for both of those two players. Tim Embley with just 8. Cameron, what's Jeremy Cameron doing? He's only had the 8 disposals, 5 kicks, 3 marks for the 1 goal. A little bit quiet from the big man as well. We'd expect a little bit more coming from him. Oliver Henry was 6. So there's still plenty of upside in the game. And of course, most of these games, they do open up a little bit, don't they, in the third and final quarter, when they just open the game up, stop protecting the zone so much and let the game run a little bit of free flowing. While we're around 100 people watching my rugby, awesome, good stuff. I'm one of them, Addy G. I'm one of them. Sean Manning is the only multiple goal scorer with 2. Wood, Stengel, Steele, Neal, how do you say that? Nevitt, Higgins, Henry, Dempsey, Dangerfield and Cameron with 1 each. The fantasy points, 82 for Humphrey, still 62. Wilkie 56, Myers 55, Bowles 53, Sinclair 51, Wood and Marshall on 50. All the rest under that. The team stats, not a great deal of difference through the dominance of the score there, just 20 odd to the Cats in front. Everything else reasonably even. 21 inside 50s to the Saints for 9 scoring shots, 27 for the Cats for their 12. Inside 50 efficiency, it's about the same as you can see. Score of the shots there and their disposal efficiency, a little bit down the Saints, but not too bad overall. Free kicks, well, it's pretty standard, 6 to 8. Not too much happening out there. It's a pretty clean game. Hit-outs, clearances, Cats by 6 on the clearances, centre clearances, Cats dominating that. Stoppage clearances a little bit better for the Saints there by 2. Contested, Cats by 10. Uncontested, pretty similar as the turnovers. Let's have a look at the marks, see what's happening there. Cats finding the space a bit more. Only 7 marks of difference. Marks inside 50, 10 to 9. So it's good to see the Saints getting plenty of marks inside 50. They're nearly on their season's average of 12. So they're going well at the moment. They just need to kick a little bit more accurate. With those 6 behinds, it can hurt the final result at time. Contested 5 to 8. Cats by 3 in that department. The tackles, Saints doing a little bit more of the tacking, as the Cats have had the ball a little bit more often. 31 to 24 and tackles inside 50. Both teams doing pretty well. 5 to 6. Both doing the 1%ers. What they need to do in this game, probably the Saints need to do a little bit more of the 1%ers. Just lower their eyes going inside 50. They're getting plenty of opportunity to do so. Find their leading target. Get them in a good position. And then just put ball on boot. And slot it through accurately to bring their score back. Just roll the team stats up there, as we can see, for 3 goals 6. So there we go. We want the Saints to kick a little bit more straight, a little bit more accurate. They find that, you know, they can go ahead on the goals to the behinds. That's always the challenge. That's always the market. The target that you're looking for. You want the more goals and points. So you're always taking those chances when you get them. Just like the Cats doing 9 goals 3. They're kicking very accurate and doing a great job there. We're only 9 minutes out from the bounce in the third quarter as we start the second half here down at Marvel Stadium. I'll be back in a few moments, folks, when the commentators come back on. Just give me a moment while I make a cuppa. I'll be back with you in just a moment.
7 points. And the Saints get it out of the middle, get it going their way. That's the key to their third term. They get on top in the stoppages and control the tempo around the ground.
Perfect start from the stoppage for the Saints after going down 14-3 in that second quarter. Really needed to make an impact straight away, and Darcy Wilson with a solid finish. He's had a great year, the kid. Drafted on his running ability and what he's been able to do with the ball.
The round 6 rising star nominee Darcy Wilson. Advantage played out of the stoppage. Stanley goes long. Ollie Henry outpointed. Rookie. Fine one-on-one defender. Shares it out wide now with Jack Steele. Just that last goal come from a bit of overlap handball. Hunter Clark got on the move, and the Saints are desperate to get some speed in this game. It's front and centre. Here is Hunter Clark. Jack Higgins fires the handball back. Jones going to take on Blitzarves. Not always a wise thing to do. They've run into some real trouble here, the Saints. Now they just have to kick in hope down the line. Fisted away by Stewart. Nicely picked up. It was Mason Wood. Got it to Sinclair, and that works. So again, a bit of chaos ball. And Rowan Marshall has been a good goal-kicking touch in recent weeks, can fire.
And this is what we're asking for in that second quarter there. Take the contest. Take it down the line and rely on numbers getting there. Win the next contest. They won the one on true centre wing, then at half forward, then you get a look on the back of that. Sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty. You just have to keep showing up in numbers.
6 goals straight over the last 3 weeks. Rowan Marshall, 23 disposal, 3-goal game last week, and their win directly in front. Kicked it as straight as an arrow. Back-to-back goals, St Kilda. Remarkably, the Saints are back to within 21 points. And that is exactly what Ross Lyon would have dreamt of coming out of the halftime break.
Daisy make great points. St Kilda just got to understand that tonight's just the predictable thing to do is go and get numbers for the contest, use each other up. We're not sure how it's going to come through at different stages, but we kick it in direction. We've got enough numbers there we can outnumber.
And what they have to do now is really focus on not letting the Cats get a quick one back.
Incredibly, 15 possessions to 1 in this third term so far in favour of the Saints, and here they go again. Sinclair pops it over the top. Marshall to 50, Ryan Kolajasny. Goes short to Manna. Jasny cruises by, Manna goes short to Holmes. Humphreys provides some run from behind. Nice kick to Stengel. Arcs in front of Webster. Punches the handball. Bowes will have a bounce. Gives it to Dangerfield. Crosses the 50. Kicks towards the top of the square. Owens, as he dragged off it, wanted a free kick. Dempsey keeps it alive. Henry, Muller, lovely step. Battle runs him down. Ball smothered. Still there for Manna. Clark lays the tackle. Scrambling defence from the Saints.
I think you see that build up by Geelong. Had a couple of goals kicked on them. Were able just to work the ball down the ground on their terms. Take some mark, take some little bit of gas out of the game.
And get the field position they want. Marshall in front. Neal. Get the handball out. Dangerfield. Launching into the tackle. On Stocker.
Just have to be careful here, the Saints, of the numbers off the back of this contest for the Cats. Guthrie coming out. Holmes is the backside, the same as Stewart.
So really getting the ground set up. Well, Stengel was retarded with one hand of Jack Steele and the inspirational skipper. He's come up with another important play. They're going to launch an attack again from defence here, St Kilda.
Open the game up a little. Wilkie. Out of Wood. This looks more like St Kilda football. Short kick to uncontested mark is generally their option. Will go longer on this occasion. Higgins presents. Direct football from the Saints here. Xiaomi will fly. 45 out. Does he set himself? Thought about giving it off. Tom Stewart occupying the hole. As you can see, about 20 metres out from goal and right in the screen. So Cooper Sharma will go back and take the responsibility himself.
He's got some real confidence in his game, the way that he took that at the highest point. Really impressive.
13-2 in his last 6 games. 4th year in the system. In the best form of his career. Can he keep it rolling here for the Saints from 50? Strikes it magnificently. So we saw St Kilda do this in the second term. Rally, get back within 15 points. It was 14 in the second. And then Geelong got on top around the stoppages. So can the Saints hold here or continue to close?
This is a change-up that we haven't seen in that first half, taking it to the open side, but getting speed on the ball. So open side, then rolling. Good contested marks down the field. Higgins there on that occasion, but also speed on the ball. Don't get Geelong set behind the footy. Took a couple of nice contested marks and a nice finish, but it's that exploration of the open side, really starting to challenge Geelong, see if they can defend the full width and length of the ground.
Back to within 15 points, the Saints. 3 goals in quick succession. Darcy Wilson, open goal square. They've got 4 in a row, St Kilda. Where did this come from? Darcy Wilson kicks his second of this third term. Back to within 9 points. Saints fans out of their chairs. And they are right back in it.
How quickly you can eat away at a lead. Stock has done a great job on Stewart early parts of tonight, but it's been in the contest where they've done it and taking the ball forward from these stoppages. This quarter alone, 4 centre bounce clearances, 4 goals from them. Contested possessions, up 11-5.
Extraordinary. It was all St Kilda in the clearances in the first term, all Geelong in the second. Now the Saints have ripped it their way. So, Joel, when you can tell a side is on top of you around the stoppages, how did Geelong adjust now?
Well, they've just brought Manor up around the stoppage, playing a little bit higher. Geelong will look to get a defender out the back.
That's exactly how it plays out. Stewart receives. Manor, Atkins. Feels like the Saints are hunting at the moment. Mullen will be penalised. St Kilda fans getting involved. Steele hits up memory. These are the options that haven't been there in the first half. The hit-up kick. We're uncertain of his option, so we retreat. So they set for the switch, they will, because Webster will go to Howard, and now all the way across to Wilkie. Marshall, next link in the chain, great running from the big man, read the play, got there to provide the option. Good finger tipper from Hill. Patient build up the Saints, picking some holes now. Burns inside 50 and they get it to Wilson. And the first year player can kick 3 for the quarter.
The beauty of the ball movement at the moment is they're going side to side. So yes, their forwards are going to have to work, but it's allowing the midfielders to pop up into pockets of space. And when you continue to use the ball well by foot, there's going to be options out everywhere. Look at the Geelong numbers scrambling. Sharman's out, Wilson's out, Steele was out as well. It's just all about picking the right option and then finishing.
So the Saints are getting their clearance game going and their uncontested marking game going. Wilson. This is right.
And when you're on top like this, guys, all of a sudden St Kilda feel like that they've got more time with the footy. They don't feel like that pressure's in their face as much. Got a little bit more time.
4 goals, 1 St Kilda from their 5 inside 50s this quarter. Hill can send it back there again. Sharman's going to launch. He had his name almost written all over it. Picked up by Wilson, who's been in everything. The tumbler into the pocket. Jack Henry equal to the challenge.
Well, within 7 minutes, you can just see the belief start to grow across the field. The first goal, yes. Then you're good enough to find another one. Now it feels like every contest, the Saints are rocking up with more numbers. Those fumbles that we saw in the first half, they've gone.
33-point half-time lead has been whittled down to 8 in a matter of minutes. The Saints building in confidence. Here's Jack Bowes. Flicks it over to Neil on the non-preferred. They're well set up here. St Kilda, an easy mark for Wilkie. And this is that change of direction play on again to Zach Jones.
40 disposals to 19 for the term. St Kilda, we spoke about how important the disposal count is to their win-loss. They're controlling it at the moment. Wood to Membry. Inside to Burns. Incredible transformation in the game. Membry again.
And this is an area where they've been able to find marks around 30, 40 metres out.
Membry find one here. Sizzles a kick. Perfect for Stocker.
And that's the kick. Rather than dumping it to the hot spot like they did in that first quarter, you can see the option there. Two to choose from. A nice flat punch kick to the advantage. In between four cats, none of them had a play on it.
It's Geelong by 33 points at half-time. We've played 12 and a half minutes in this third term. This is another opportunity.
And they're going to be the ones, you feel they're the ones that you have to make the most of. It's an easiest look on goal. You're not going to have the game in this quarter on your terms for the entirety of it. You've got to make the most of it.
Max Holmes changed direction, changed mind, and the Saints are back in it with Butler wrapped up in the tackle. Some of the Cats just feeling a bit of the heat that St Kilda are applying. Caminiti and Blitzarves, clean possession from the blitz, and then he did well to get into Atkins. Umpire lets this one go. Paddy Dow carves a kick back into the corridor. Membry and Mason Wood. Humphreys with some composure to Ollie Dempsey. Steps around Zach Jones. Great game awareness from Dempsey. They're going to build it to Max Holmes. Rowan, can they get an important reply here on his own in the pocket? Was Ollie Henry, but out of bounds on the fall, and now listen to the Saints fans here at Marvel Stadium. Harry Rowan's just lost his mind for a moment.
It was a great effort there from Jimmy Webster. He came off his direct opponent. He was the one. He had to impact because Stengel was free in the pocket. Henry it may have been, and here comes a 50, more speed on the ball.
Wilkie coming off the bench is Hunter Clark. You can see him there bottom right of your screen. He has just appeared from the interchange bench. Burns finds him. What's he got? He's got the short option. It's Steele. Cats have got numbers back. Membry calling for it 20 metres from goal. Steele will head in that general direction. Can Membry get there? He'll hang off the back. Spills to the front. Humphreys to Manor. Now Dangerfield. Cats need a steady up. Manor kept on running. Cameron. Touch kick to half forward, not quite there for Neil. Has to go down and find it. That opens the door for Hill to put a contest on. Cameron kept it alive cleverly. Might work for the Saints. Burns needs to get it to Hill. Hill puts his body in the way. Stops it coming out. And Atkins gets one high.
Thank you. Let him up. Stand.
They are right in the game, the Saints and their fans at the moment. Atkins plays on into the pocket. Wilkie again been brilliant. Short pass is on Webster, and they're finding targets like they couldn't in the first half. St Kilda. Paddy Dow. Strong turnaround in this game. More patience St Kilda.
And Darcy, you can see how much gas it's taken out of Geelong too. A lot of players just walking across the ground. trying to find their position.
Look at that hit up target again. Elite kicking from St Kilda. Jack Steele's been enormous. Marshall from behind. In front with Sharman. Ground ball to be won. Marshall bends down, picks it up. Wilson hands it back to Hunter Clark. Wrapped up by Bose. And they get the territory win. An opportunity inside their forward 50.
Manini against Blitzarves. Sweeping onto it, Wilson. Wilson! Misses.
Right.
Has he got it? To the post. They think it's a goal. It isn't. And the Cats will bring the quick kick in. Cameron can get it all the way to the wing. Saints are out of position because they were celebrating. Can Geelong capitalise? Holmes has got some numbers.
Chance for Blitzarves now. There might be some controversy back there. We'll review that in a moment. Manor, he's got numbers out everywhere all of a sudden. They're going to get back. The Cats are all over it. Slap towards the boundary line, and that is a win for St Kilda. Dougal, Howard, Wilkie, and Brian Burns give the high fives because they were caught out.
Great scramble defence. Sometimes it just takes a really special effort. They were outnumbered there, the Saints.
Lucy Wilson was into his goal celebration just a few seconds ago. Jack Steele went supreme. Dow, Hunter Clark. Stewart wrapped him up. So here's the replay.
Well, I was with Wilson. I had the handoff and I was gone. The umpire in the perfect spot.
The Saints all ran to Wilson. There were 6 or 8 of them around him. Cats realised, played on quickly. St Kilda able to get back and scramble, as Joel mentioned, and get it to the line. So it's a 1-goal game with 8 minutes to play in the third. 4 unanswered goals in this quarter to the Saints. Marshall from the ruck wins another clearance. Kolodjasny through his hands. Past Stanley. Kolodjasny doesn't claim it the first time. Has got some time now. Runs away from Membry. Dempsey will wait down at the back, but it won't get that far. Howard takes the grab. Saints so expansive with their ball movement in the third term. Wilkie. Wangadine Miller up. Back to Wilkie. Now to Jones. High to the wing. Kolodjasny sets himself again.
So this is where Geelong need to switch. Start taking it back at St Kilda the same way they're doing to you. There should be holes everywhere on this open side.
Called the play on Reece Stanley. Heads in the Jeremy Cameron direction. Always a good option. Jack Sinclair up for the challenge. They've got the numbers around the contest here. Steele keeps his feet. Hands it off to Sinclair. Hunter Clark. Quick handball to Butler. Got through some heavy traffic there. Back to Jack Sinclair. They're making good decisions, the Saints. And now it opens up. Big chance, Mason Wood. All on his own inside 40-50. Free target Membry. And they have carved open the zone defence of the Cats and can make it 5 goals in a row here, St Kilda.
They're just making the ground big and almost as silly as that can seem. See there to the left of the screen, depth on the screen, there's players back inside the opposition 50. That means there's holes everywhere. So when you do win it back, you can change an angle. You have players out, continuing to stretch the Geelong defence, making them make poor pressing decisions.
11 goals too in the last 4 weeks coming into tonight's match. Huge moment for Tim Membry. Leans back on it. Nails it through. Scores level at Marvel Stadium. Unbelievable. 33-point half-time lead evaporated with 5 unanswered goals. Saints have picked themselves up. Thrown down a big challenge here to Geelong.
Well, if you're wondering how St Kilda got back in the game, it's just these contests like this. The way that they're able just to fight on, fight the next contest, get the next number in. and then link up on the way past. They've had double the amount of disposal that the Cats have had. Contested possessions have absolutely smashed the Cats this quarter.
Scores level after Geelong led by 33. Dangerfield takes it on himself, runs through the front edge of the square, drives towards the pocket. It's still there. Wilkie concedes. Wanganeen Miller with a quick kick back into play.
Inside 5, play on.
Battle has it, draws a man, pumps a handball. Wanganeen Miller. Burns has got to wait. Does it well. Steps inside, kicks to the wing. Stewart in good position. Runs into a tackler. It's Caminiti as we head down to Aaron.
Yeah, guys, it's a different St Kilda side, but 0 goals in the first half from stoppage, 3 goals already from stoppage. So, different Saints team.
Thanks, Aaron. Only 20 minutes ago, Geelong were 33 points up. Manor sends them into forward 50, but Cal Wilkie, about his third term. All-Australian defender from last year. And they're prepared to take some risks. Burns' kick, that'll work to Dow. Overlap run from Sinclair. Had to confront Stewart, kicked it over his head. Caminiti from behind has claimed the mark. Ripped it out of the hands of Henry. He's called the play on. Can he kick one on the outside? The bender's going to work to Higgins. Directly in front. A St Kilda onslaught. Yep. Eyes tell it all for Chris Scott. And their leading goal kicker, Jack Higgins, directly in front. Got a couple. Saints have kicked the last 6. St Kilda in front for the first time tonight. And if it's
well, there's the play on call. Just good enough to hear it, work their way through it. But the changing ball movement, the belief, the run, the spread, but also the execution of skill. In that first half, it was fumbled around. There was a second bite at it. Everything is logos at the minute. Everything coming up St Kilda. Geelong just simply have to get their hands on the footy.
St Kilda had 43 uncontested marks in the first half. That's their game. They've had 38 already in the third quarter alone. Stanley dragged down.
On the ball.
They pay advantage, they do. Memory gets his hands on it, flips it back. Blitzarf stands in the way and concedes. An extraordinary turnaround this has been. Cats now needing a steady up.
Who are the on-field leaders here, Sal? Who do you...
Well, there's one sitting as sub at the moment, to be honest, and it looks like he's just about to do a bit of warming up. But Mitch Duncan, if you're talking about players with ball in hand, there's probably none better in the AFL.
6-4 to 1 behind, 10 scores to 1 in this third term.
Saints don't want this quarter to end because they are completely controlling every aspect of it. Howard back into the corridor. Jimmy Webster's got it. 4 minutes remaining in the third term. Geelong have taken a standing 8 count here. Front Bowes claims the mark on the second attempt. So what do you think now, Sil? Are they going to slow things down, Geelong, and just try and maintain some possession?
Well, the possession has been rushed every time they've got it, so get it into the ball users that you want. Jack Bowes is one of them. Build it up throughout the ground, and if they could take it inside 50 from a little bit closer than that, be ideal.
Get a front and centre chance. Atkins, they've got Gary Ryan out the back. Stengel can pop it over the top, and a much-needed goal coming up here for the Cats. All their experience. So many seasoned professionals out there in the famous Geelong hoops, and this will be important. Gary Rowan directly in front. Almost impossible to miss. He doesn't, and that breaks a run of 6 goals. Scores level again.
just winning it at ground level there. The Cats, clever there by Stengel, out the back, Gary Rowan. Much needed goal, to say the least. And that's the beauty of not shutting up shop. They had it through the middle there. Stanley could have gone backwards and sideways. Didn't.
Cats have activated their sub, Aaron.
Yeah, the Rowan is off, so sub has been activated, so Mitch Duncan on both.
Experience of Mitch Duncan into the game for the Cats, who've steadied and tied things up again. Just under 3 minutes to play. This is Wanganeen Miller up. And again, we see that uncontested mark, short kick game. Saints just could not get it going in the first half. Geelong shut down every option. It's just they've broken them open in this third term. Caminiti off the back. Higgins been dangerous. Owens in good position. Stanley came across. Now we're battle at the top of the square. Butler goes off the ground. Humphreys to Stanley. Dumps it outside 50. Block going the way of the Saints.
Marshall in a really dangerous spot here, 40 metres out with a mismatch on close.
Henry outside range. How deep does he go with the entry? 20 from goal. Marshall was the target. Well done, Dempsey.
Very capable overhead player, Ollie Dempsey. To run a swingy pass, he's going to send it out. City side of Marvel Stadium. Big one-on-one. He might have had the jumper with Bradley Hill and Shane Mullen. He's on a big 50-50 there for the Cats. Holmes plays it on to Dangerfield. Not a lot up forward, so he places it deep. That's a good spot to put it. Henry probably should have taken the mark. And now the Cats can reload. The captain, Jack Steele, in the direction of memory with that trademark two-footed jump, takes an important mark, and back through the corridor they come against St Kilda. If it's going to sit for Stocker, they're a huge chance. At the back, Mitch Owen. Mitch Duncan there to defend. He's got a boot to it, claimed it. Miracle goal from Owen. Mitch Owens just refused to give up on it. Something special. One of the best corners you've seen from St Kilda in recent memory.
This was a kick that changed the whole look of that play. Inboard corridor kick, but to the advantage side. Wasn't perfect, and then from there, just good enough.
Beast, wasn't he? Competitive beast. Going to count himself out at any stage.
So Stewart got a hand on it, and Owens, the boot, ruled to have hit after Stewart's hand.
And that's the way I'm seeing it too. Stewart has a hand on it first, but just as he knocks it, the boot comes flying through. Separation.
It's a tough call, isn't it?
This is score review. Score is confirmed. You can restart play.
It's a goal. 7-4 for the quarter. St Kilda's best of the season. Final minute. They lead by a goal. Marshall and Stanley.
St Kilda.
And another opportunity for the Saints.
Marshall on the line. Standing. Contact on. Play on.
Marshall goes deep. Stanley got straight back from the contest to provide defensive support. Caminiti tries to get away from Blitzarves. Ball still there for the Saints. Wilson goes to the voice. Butler tries to spin through Kolajasny. Owens kept it going. Trickles to the line. Inside 50s for the term. 18-9 in favour of St Kilda.
Geez, they're putting them under pressure right to the last second of this quarter too. Straight in there, in a really dangerous position too.
Time for another one here for St Kilda. Caminiti off the face of Bruce Stanley, through the legs of Caminiti. Stanley slaps it into a dangerous position. Humphreys played it well. Stood up under the pressure. Still the right part of the ground here for St Kilda.
Caminiti with his hands. Now they're taken down. We're not in possession. Cats can shut this down from here. Options laterally. Stewart, he wants to attack. Jasny on the wing. Stunning third quarter from the Saints. Their best of the season. They kicked 7 goals more to 1 goal 1. From 33 points down to 6 points up as we turn for home on Saturday Night Footy.
All right. I bet you no one saw that coming. Can you believe it? The Saints are in front. 3/4 time, the Saints piling on 7 goals 4 to the Catters 1 goal 1. Tell you what, it was like they were doing circle work a little bit there. The Saints, I don't know what the Cats were doing. They're just not going in there and showing that grit what they usually got. Holy moly, geez, you're not wrong, Annie. That is, well, that's one way you could say it. Even Eddie G's a little bit shell-shocked by the score so far here at 3/4 time. Athena, work, how you going? Oh my God, I know. Everyone can't believe what's going on here. This is just incredible, St Kilda just hitting their marks so cleanly. They're making it look pretty easy. They're making Geelong look second rate here. It's as though it's the Saints that are going to be playing finals and the Cats not. But if we just have a look at that live ladder now, the Cats 56, they're still in 4th position. That is the live ladder off. That is it on. St Kilda are still down here. If they win, they're up to 40 points. Still can't make the finals. But the Cats, is just such an important game for them. This is one they should not let out of the bag. This is one they should not let go, because if they win this game, they'll still be in 4th, but they're a big chance. Or let's just say this, if they win this game, they will secure a top 4 position. There we go. If they don't, well, there's still a chance that the Brisbane Lions next week can take 4th position off the Cats. So that's how much this game means to the Cats. So we'll see if they get a little bit of a rev up by their coach at 3/4 time. And he puts it to them. He puts it to some of his senior players in the whole group. Lift your act, get it together. Let's just have a quick look at the team disposals. Who's leading the way now? All right, Callum Wilkie and Humphreys leading the way with 23. Bell's 22. Jack Steele, 19. Marshall, a lot of the ball getting shared around here, so there's no real dominant players. That's what's happening today. And that's always pretty good to see, where the whole team is working your way. So everything seems pretty level. Across the board, Sinclair 17, Zach Jones 17, Tom Stewart 15 disposals. Paddy Dangerfield 15, he's up to 15, he's got 1 goal. He was the game breaker last week. Let's see whether he can do that again this week. Can Paddy Dangerfield take the Cats to victory in this game? We'll see. Jeremy Cameron there, only the 1 goal off the 7 kicks. He's just had the 12 disposals. I need a big last quarter from him to fire up the big man down there for the Catters also. Let's see if he can get these. Let's see if he can get his hands on the ball. If he can get the opportunity, we'll see what happens. We're only a couple of minutes away from Gary Rowan. There we go. He's just had a quiet game, Gary Rowan. He kicked that 1 goal late in that quarter. Otherwise, he hasn't done a great deal either. So we are a minute 50 away from the bounce of the final quarter. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we are in for a cracking last quarter. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Don't forget, if you haven't put your vote in, I've got the poll there. We've got 38 votes so far, and I've got 76% saying Geelong will win this game. 24% saying the Saints. There we go. 24% only for the Saints. And they're the ones that lead. Just in the other game at the moment being played, we've got the derby going on over there at the Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide are leading close to 3/4 time there. As Port Adelaide 6-12-48 to Adelaide Crows 6-10-46. So we've got another close game there. The lead is ebbing and flowing and changing over there. So a little bit like here. It's going to be a ring-a-ding final quarter. All right, folks, enjoy the last quarter. Good luck to whoever you're going for. I'll take you back down now to the ground where the commentators are going to take us in to the final quarter. It's the Saints by 6 points.
Part Geelong's team defence. It was really impressive, and then from there they were able to get some really good looks. But this started the quarter, so very first set of bounce of the third quarter, Rossi Lyon had fired them up. They were able to get the ball inside 50, and as you mentioned, it was Darcy Wilson that had got to work. So nothing pretty about it. They just got it in deep. Tall's got to work. And then Wilson, who's been a terrific first-year player for St Kilda, he's one of these youngsters that they can build off. Got to the right spot. It was a clever finish. And that just got a little bit of momentum going. And then not long later, they were able to get another centre bounce. And again, same sort of result. This time, not pretty. Liam Stocker playing some midfield minutes. Got the footy. And then Darcy Wilson, 5 shots a goal for the term. He kicked 2 goals too. Another one out on the full. And all of a sudden, there was energy and spark back in the St Kilda side. And they went from there and continued on their great footy.
Were their entries better in that quarter as well?
Yeah, well, they're able to find marks. They've now taken 16 marks inside 50 for the game. That's a huge number for 3 quarters, particularly against this Geelong defence that has been rock solid. So you can see there twice as many inside 50s, but this is the one for St Kilda. This has been their issue all year. Scored 11 times from those 18 entries, and that's what's given them a 6-point lead at 3-quarter time.
Whoever is writing the script on season 2024 just has a few twists and turns in store for us. And what's going to happen in this last quarter? Because the Cats, we laud their professionalism all the time. They just can't afford to let this slip. There's too much at stake.
Well, as Kingy said at half-time, who wants to win this thing? Who wants to have a top 4 spot? There's top 2 on the line for Geelong if they can win this game. If they let this slip, top 2 is probably out of the question. So massive 4th quarter for them. Gee, they're a proud club. You would have thought Chris Scott would have given them a bit of a rocket at 3-quarter time. They've got some proud leaders. There's 2 of them on screen, Tom Stewart and Paddy Dangerfield. You know they're going to step up. Dangerfield, we saw him do it last week against Fremantle in the 4th quarter. So St Kilda are going to want to be on their game. Their pressure was elite in that 3rd quarter. If they can bring that again, Wilkie's been awesome patrolling the back line. They can win this, the Saints, but you know Geelong are going to throw plenty at them.
Yeah, pressure went from around 165 to over 200 with so many non-Victorian sides up around the top. The Cats need to win if they want to try and sew up some sort of home ground advantage in September. Let's head back to the action.
Marshall with the first possession. They've got their big guns in there, the Cats, as you would. Stewart lands in the lap of Manor. Plays on immediately. He's going to go over the head of Jezza. Almost the mark taken down there by Battle. Beautiful pickup under some pressure. Initially by Stocker. Mullen tried to sink the slipper into it. Still pinballing around down there. Myers picks it up. Out the back, Stengel is going to draw them level again. The Cats, he's got his second. Professional, classy outfit. Time to regroup, and Tyson Stengel, how often does he do that? Made it look easy.
It was a great effort by Stengel in the first place by holding Wilkie down, not allowing him to get in the mark, and then the ball was just a scrap. Myers' hands in there was electric, and that little bit of play by Mullen by just keeping the ball live for the Cats in that forward 50 makes it dangerous for those small forwards.
Huge momentum swings on the back of clearances. Geelong get the first and get the first goal. They get another clearance here. Stewart inside 50 and up goes Neil.
First clearance Stewart, second clearance Stewart. Stands up to the moment.
The Cats can kick 2 in less than 2 minutes. They dominated the clearances in the second term to rock it away, and then St Kilda reversed it in the third. Geelong to resume transmission. Back in front, and only by a point.
Sinclair picks off the little one to Howard, and then he's left the handball behind Sinclair. Sold him into some pressure. Ever reliable Wilkie. On the line, Kolajasny smashes it away from Mason Wood. Holmes into the path of Atkins. Feel like they've reset themselves here, the Cats, to Dangerfield.
But Stanley sliding front side.
Heads in that general direction. Reece Stanley, as you called Daisy, had a good look at the mark. Stengel, boot to ball. Jones will be pretty happy to walk it over. And enough pressure on that to have a boundary throwing, but the Cats have lifted their rating.
Dangerfield just missed Cameron on the lead. He would have got it at 50 out, a spot where Joseph would really back himself.
Territorial Geelong's in the first 3 minutes. To a dangerous position. Mullen swoops onto it, but Hill swoops onto him. Marshall and Stanley. Marshall on the bounce. Sinclair clears the zone, but it's all Geelong. Blitz halves. Saints have got 15 players inside their defensive 50. Blitz halves. Can he find an option? Dangerfield up in front. Off hands. Wood. Steele. Saints have to work their way through it. Clark. Wood. Nowhere to go. Webster. Didn't want a dump kick. And in the end, they did it really well. Some composure. Clark to Wilson. Wanganeen Miller has got Kilda to the outside. He can look down the line. He's only got Higgins. Cats have got numbers back. That's good composure. Patient build-up is with Clark.
Corridor kick has been so effective for the Cats in this second half. And that works. A little chip to Jack Steele. Too far out to score. Saw them hit this next kick with great success in the third term. Marshall's pushed down. He's going to back into big ruckman. He had the mismatch height-wise. Cats defence did well to get at the ground. And now Jezza. They're streaming forward everywhere. Stengel wants it. Coming across Cal Wilkie. Brilliant defensive effort. Punches it in the path of Bradley Hill. Picks it up. And then again they bite off the corridor kick. Oh no, through the hands of Sinclair. Looked like it could have been a fatal mistake, but they've got the numbers. Sideways ball to Jones, takes it and takes off.
Jones goes to the forward pocket. Caminiti versus Henry. Boundary line wins. There's another look at Cal Wilkie.
What a contest, but geez, this ground is starting to open up. There's holes everywhere. The amount of running that both sides have done in the last 2 quarters.
It's been an entertaining game, but still so much to come. Caminiti over the top, back towards the line. Humphreys taken there by Higgins.
So both Howard and Hill got up from those contests on the wing here. A little bit sore, both with shoulders. Physio going out and checking.
We get a picture of Dangerfield forward here. Wilkie really damaging in that third quarter. The captain goes down.
You feel Jez has got some big moments as well. Dangerfield and Cameron have been the two over the past fortnight.
Well done, Bose. Off to Dempsey. Cats turn to attack. Thought about the gift to Bose. Instead he'll kick the half forward, but the Saints have got numbers back and Battle picks it off.
3 metres back, Jeremy. 3 metres back. Stand.
Josh Battle. A lot of speculation about where his future lies. Unrestricted free agent at the end of this year. Right now, they are thinking of a famous victory here at Marvel Stadium. They've just joined us 33 points down at half-time. They kicked 7 goals to 1 in the third quarter. Live game as Caminiti and Markey had a fair reason to claim and let it go. The umpires, Darcy Wilson's been super impressive again tonight, off hands out of bounds.
And now it's a combination of what the Saints have learnt over those first 3 quarters. The around play looks like it's been taken away as much as possible. So then you've got to quickly rely on the fact that he's going to go long down the line, get your numbers there where you weren't great in that first half.
Saints fans have found their voice since half-time. Bose past Dempsey, taken by Henry. Awkward one for Blitzarves. Taken down by Stocker. Marshall extracts. Great half volley from Stewart. And then a brilliant give to Bose. How good was that from Tom Stewart, but it gets picked off. Stewart then lays the tackle on Jones. Sinclair. Saints still have it. Inside 50, Woods all alone. Wants to give it. And Dars to Hill. He's no closer.
Well, we saw Wood have a shot earlier in the game. Got a high level of confidence, and then the next time played on, went around the body from 40.
He didn't want that one, did he?
No, there's a little bit of head noise there.
So Brad Hill, the veteran, game 254. To put the Saints back in front. 48 metres out. Gives it a ride. Does he get it there? He does! Saints back in front by 5 points. 8 minutes gone, final turn. Eight goals to 2 since half-time.
A midfield turnover that comes straight back. Dustin Wilson. Man, you can't really sum that up in words. Playing beyond his years tonight.
Just on the goal line here. Just looking where the Geelong ruckman was. Vince Harps did a good job of being held down, but Stanley's the one. He was in the centre of the ground. That should have been touched through.
St Kilda have won 14 final returns this season. Incredibly, only St Kilda have won more. Only Sydney have won more, I should say, off the hands of Cooper Sharman and out of bounds. They are storming home. Here the Saints again, 5-point margin. Ross Lyon sensing a memorable night here on a Saturday night. Been a tough season for St Kilda. This would be enormous. Free kick going back to Max Holmes at half-back. Remember, the Cats can lock away top 4 with a win here tonight. Plenty at stake for Geelong.
And stay in the hunt for a home qualifying final as well. Duncan takes some territory, kicks towards the wing, past Nevitt, past Stanley. Close, created some space for Kolajasny, who flips it down the line. Umpire says out of the full. Must have come off Burns' boot.
Hang on.
It did.
Yeah, okay. I think he'll be happy to play poker with Ryan Burns.
You're coming to the marker outside 5.
Okay. Pretty easy tell when you just run off.
Kolajasny has it. Into the man on the mark, Embry. Can the Saints counter punch? Good tackle. Kolajasny affected the kick. Holmes steps past Owens, runs to 65, drives to the square. Stanley there, Dempsey there, Wilkie been outstanding.
About the form of Cal Wilkie. He's taken 7 intercept marks. Just been impenetrable back there. Butler fighting hard. Ollie Dempsey equally. That was clever. Little toe poke to Stengel. High one. Can they get a mark? Oh, Tree Stanley's popped up. Big contested mark. Just what they wanted. He is 0-1 for season 2024. A nice time for Reece Stanley to kick his first goal of the year.
Well, he challenged Marshall to go down there. Marshall tracked the ball once it started to leave.
What has Reece Stanley done? He's snuck it home. And he's put the Cats back in front. Big moment for the Geelong ruckman. Been in and out of the side this year. It's his 10th year at Geelong. That was something memorable right there.
Well, it wasn't perfect, but he snuck it home. And Aaron, some movement on the Saints bench.
Yeah, Bradley Hill's come off. They've activated their sub for Saints, so Hugo Garcia on.
Cats back in front. Blitzarv's the tap. Bose was the target. Blitzarv's follows up himself. Stripped by Caminiti. Down goes Stocker. Blitzarv's a third effort. Caminiti's hurt. Saints have just activated their sub, and Caminiti's shoulder is out, I think.
Back, please. Yep. Already strapped up. That's the carrying motion of when it's not in.
And they've just literally activated their sub. Caminiti nurses his shoulder to the boundary line. Here's a look. He's in the tackle. You can see his face, the screen. Geelong free kick for the hole.
Go in, Cloud.
Bose to a big pack. Off the fingertips, Stengel. Flipped out by Battle. Now Wilson, been so impressive. Marshall takes on the tackle, beats Holmes. Back to Wilson, who kept running. Tries to bring it inboard. Stewart couldn't complete the grab. Stewart and Owens come together. They both turn their bodies. Mitch doesn't like the call. Here's another look. Thoughts?
He just beat him to it. To be honest, they probably both tried to do a little bit of the same, but
important free kick gives the Cats another inside forward 50. Manor tried to don't argue. That might have been his prior opportunity. Gone. It is. Doing some work on Caminiti there, the medical staff from St Kilda.
Probably technique over intent. Is that contest summed up there from Owens and Stewart? I think the good news for Caminiti is that shoulder's already strapped, so if it's going out, it can often just slide back in as well.
Beautiful little step from Wangane Miller. Gained some important territory. What about the run from Darcy Wilson? He was in the other back pocket about 8 seconds ago, and he has covered Olympic-type territory in record pace.
he wouldn't even blow out a candle too.
It's been fun to watch Darcy Wilson and Ollie Dempsey tonight. Two of the exciting youngsters in the competition. Strutting their stuff. Dempsey's had 18 possessions. Wilson's had 22 and 2 goals, 3. Slap to the middle of the ground. Pass battle. Needed to find his boot quickly and did. Plenty of height on this one. Blitzarves versus Marshall. Steele. Pulls the kick cleverly. Garcia spotted out of the corner of his eye. Membry. Garcia. The step from Dow. Back to the sub. Garcia, and he laces it out inside 50 to Higgins.
Great composure. Around the arc, this is a kick we've spoken so much about tonight, Sal. This is the important one. When you've just come into the game, it's a hot game. And to compose yourself, execute the skill, find the best option. Well done. Well worked from the Saints.
It's great when a small forward knows his teammate too. That left foot of Garcia's is just potent.
Jack Higgins. Ties it up again.
Good news for Saints supporters. Caminiti looks like he's going to give it another go, guys. Took some pain medication, so hopefully be back on soon.
Thanks, Aaron. We're hearing reports Bradley Hills might have been an injury sava. That was why it had to come off immediately. Have you got any thoughts on that down there, Aaron?
I haven't got any reports on that yet, but I'll keep an eye and see if I find out any more if I'm Bradley Hill.
He was in consultation with the doctor after he had that shot on goal that just made it through. There may have been a concern going into this last quarter.
You can't imagine something Bradley Hill at in a game like this, can you? Unless it was a required thing to do. Hunter Clark and a big launch from Sharman, kept his feet beautifully. The goal opens up, the sea's parted, and Cooper Sharman nails it. Saints fans are enjoying their Saturday night here at Marvel. It was pretty glum at half-time. And they enjoy a 6-point lead with under 9 minutes to go.
Ross's expression hasn't changed. Same as it was in the first half.
Another clearance from the Saints, but it was Sharman's contest across his half-forward line that sets it up. Massive, comes out. That's what you want out of a young player, Days. and finishes it beautifully.
Certainly is. You can see bottom right there, the Cats bench. 4 charges there, getting their last break. Blitzards, Stewart's down there, Holmes, and also Stengel.
Marshall out of the middle. Dow and Atkins. Duncan got a hand in and then a tackle on Clark. Bounces it inside 50. Storming out to meet it was Henry. Now to Bowes. High towards half forward. Neal versus Howard. It'll get over the back. Wanganeen Miller up. Uses Sinclair. Hit up kick was dangerous. Off the chest of Marshall. First to fight at Garcia. Stocker. Dow. Inside 50. Going back with a flight with courage was Guthrie. They skittled everywhere. Higgins, the last man standing. Jack's got 3. Saints lead by 2.
The commitment from all players at this contest there. Bodies literally flying in left, right and centre. And as we've seen so often, Higgins, right spot, right time. Composure and class to finish, but that is full commitment from both sides. Great passage of play.
Kilda have kicked 10 goals 5 to 3 goals 2 in this second half. In one of the turnaround performances of the year.
This way.
Plenty of time left.
Just confirming too, Bradley Hill was subbed off with an injury to his back, so it was confirmed by the Saints.
Thanks, Aaron, for that. Hugo Garcia, the activated sub, and he's already had an impact. Two-goal lead to the Saints. Stanley picked it up and handed it straight back. It's going to go forward. Henry had it slapped out of his hands. Sharman fell over. And go back to Zach Guthrie. They're hunting impacts, the Saints. With Mitch Duncan. Something he was surprised starting sub tonight for the Cats, but he will be very important in his last 7.5 minutes.
Play on.
Side trails by 2 goals. Trying to lock in a top 4 spot and stay in the hunt for a home qualifying final. The Saints are pushing them all the way. Kolajasny to half forward. Close will fly to get over the back. Burns. Quick kick. Mullen. Wanganeen Miller up. Here's Garcia. To half forward. Kolajasny turns and tracks it back. Off his fingertips. Henry taken down. Sharman. It's Butler versus Duncan. Butler get brothers. Turns. Snaps and goals. It's a 3-goal game. Inside 7 minutes. As Shannon Neal limps to the bench.
How important these contests have been. Just hang in there. Mitch Owens on this occasion. Sharman again playing a hell of a last quarter and just so much space in the St Kilda forward line. A leg race. Butler on Duncan. Just beats him to it.
Big set of clearance. Both teams scoring at will from this area. Catch your feel. Have to get some movement through it.
It'll be a recall bounce. Dangerfield, Atkins and Stewart, their go-to big power mids. It's an emotional night. Loving every second of this second half. Stewart cleverly hacked it forward. Brian Myers couldn't pick it up. Burns had some big moments. They've attacked through the corridor regularly in this second half. Cleverly done Butler. A little party trick to Hunter Clark. Downfield free kick. Mitch Owens can make life very difficult here with another goal.
Thanks. Well, to win the ball back, straight line it off the back of the square, but that little tap on there Absolutely brilliant. The Cats rattled right now. This to make it really tough.
18-13 before tonight for the season for Mitch Owens. Saints fans tell the story. Extraordinary scenes in Marvel Stadium. They trailed by 33 at half time. They now lead it by 24. What a night.
Well, Dar's lucky they didn't go home at half-time, because after half-time they've changed their jumpers, they've done something, drunk the Kool-Aid, and they're just playing with this flair, this ability to just take the game on and freedom, and they're looking unbelievable.
They are now. It'll be interesting to see what mode they go into. So the buffer there, 5 minutes, just under 6 minutes. Do you think about locking it down? Are you just letting them roll? And from a Geelong point of view, they just have to roll the dice now. They have to risk losing this game by 6, 7, 8 goals to give yourself a chance to hit back quickly and try and eat into this deficit.
Break Stewie Lowe, St Kilda champion, watches on.
Contact
Break Geelong champion, wins a free kick on the ground.
Play on.
Time is now for the Cats. Dangerfield will attack. Henry underneath it. And this man has been incredible, Cal Wilkie. Pulled up sore as he landed there. Just some cramp. Battle. Out to Wilkie. Wants Jones. Dangerous kick. Nevitt. Can he make this good? Off the side of his boot.
Probably got a fair reason to be cramping too, Cal Wilkie. That's the 8 intercept marks on the night. He has been a colossal down there. He's been enormous.
Extraordinary game from him.
Just have to be happy with contests now, the Saints. Anything territory, you can knock a minute or two off the clock.
Member at the front. He's got better as the game's got older. Provided a target deep, but also the hit up like there. And now to Marshall. The Saints controlling the football, controlling the tempo they have since half-time.
Massaging the footy patiently here, happy to take the uncontested mark game now. St Kilda, 100-point scoreline. Extraordinary turnaround. Mark dropped by Jeremy Cameron. Cooper Sharman gets back. Dangerfield will back himself in. He's had some good battles with Jack Jones at times tonight. Picked up by Sharman. Hacks the kick inside forward 50. They come flying from everywhere. Jack Henry picked up by Mason Wood and stripped of it immediately. Free kick going away the Cats and College Asney. Off to Stewart. Memory will go against Dempsey. And away goes Holmes. Will have a bounce. He's got Stengel down the line. He's got Henry as the deepest forward. He gets run down.
Ball, go through.
Hugo Garcia's had an impact off the bench as the sub. Not an easy thing to do to run Max Holmes down. One of the best runners in the competition. But Hugo got him.
And that'll be the effort that's shown in Monday's review, no doubt about that. Yes, he is the fresher man, but never gave up. Never once thought I'll put in half a short stride here.
Stand.
Saints working around. They've taken a couple of minutes off the clock. Professional game management, and that'll be 50.
Move out. No. Yeah. Clear out. Clear out.
Paddy's out.
Should just stop and point. Here, go back, take the 30.
Come back on. Play on. Hey.
Even better. 30 starts now.
Mark is here. Mark is here.
Unbelievable turnaround this game. Still trying to
You go out, please.
digest it as it's on the run here.
Jack Steele got them going with a goal in the second term when they needed something. That first steadying goal, the skipper delivered it. Maybe he'll come up with the last as well. .45 out. Gets it there. What a second half from the Saints. Well, in a frustrating and disappointing year for St Kilda, this has been a high point.
Well, there it is, the live ladder. Not what Geelong would have liked. They would have liked to sign up that top 4 position tonight, but they'll have to go into next week off the back of a really bruising game tonight too. This is not only physically, but this is a little bit mentally too. A 63-point turnaround this second half.
Extraordinary scenes. Here comes Stocker. Inside forward 50. Mitch Owens, what a great competitor he is. He's refusing to give up on any contest. Look at him just trying to scramble his way through again.
Thank you.
So impressive. Given the stakes. Like Geelong were just cruising to victory at half-time. Humphries well tackled by Jack Higgins. Dempsey trying to squeeze it through to Blitzarps. Flicked out to Atkins. Go through to Bowes. Reece Stanley's found a little bit of space. Pulls the trigger. Long ball, Shannon Neal. Contested marking effort. Jezza with a late goal. Manufactures one there. But it's all too little, too late. Jeremy Cameron just hasn't been able to find his normal impact tonight, Daisy.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Josh Battles had the job all night, so that's a good scalp from him. There's been plenty of ball coming down that way too. Plenty of opportunity. But the Saints have just found a way, Joel. It's been incredible, the turnaround from when they look down and out.
And we've seen that ball cut off so many times by Cal Wilkie. He was the one that really changed the game in that third quarter. The way that he was able to put his name on the ball, just take the speed out of the game, and then he just literally played it on his terms.
Darcy Wilson's another one. A young kid, it's the 23 disposals. But his effort across the ground, he's been that link-up player that's connected the field on so many occasions.
27 and a goal from Rowan Marshall, the ruckman. And some fine players tonight. Jack Bowes leads for the Cats with 28 touches. Humphries has had 24. Stanley the tap is looking for Dangerfield. Steele got there first. Down. There is Wilson. Marshall takes from the ruck. It's flipped out to Manor. Stanley missed his boot. Garcia floats it to half forward. An incredible vertical leap from Sharman, just soared over the top of Blitzarps. He gets it to the line. Saints by 4 goals.
Questions now for the Cats. They've given up 28 scoring shots, 27 scoring shots to 18 it is. Comprehensively in this second half.
Marshall, what a great competitor he is for St Kilda. Garcia, Manor trying to fight back the other way. Final minute and a half of this game. Bowes, look at the pressure from Sinclair. The Saints in a remarkable second half of football. Jezza in front. Too strong on that occasion in front of Josh Battle, but called to play on. Abbey to just casually slot that through. Jezza for goal number 3. It's all a bit too little too late though for the Cats.
Jack Bowes hasn't stopped trying all night. It's had to play off the half-back line with Zach Tui and Mitch Duncan playing as a sub tonight. Jeremy Cameron, he hasn't had many of these opportunities as he spoke about before.
What are we putting it down to, Sal? The turnaround? Because it hasn't been a lack of intent or effort. It's just when it's gone pear-shaped, it's happened very quickly, which we're not used to probably saying or seeing from the Cats.
Completely agree with that. Not down to effort. It's just such a simple, lazy thing to think about footy. But the way that they had the footy taken off them in that third quarter was the main thing that stands out.
Final minute. Stanley the tap, looking for Atkins. On it runs Dangerfield. Off to Bowes. Needed to hit that target. It was overcooked for Manor and picked off by Wanganeen Miller up, and the Saints can now just choose some time. Webster to Wilson, we've sung his praises, and rightly so. 24th touch, 2 goals, 3, including 1. Really close poster, and you pump him up, and over he goes. Still works for the Saints because Webster got it in the back, so he'll get a free kick back anyway.
No, it's against you because he disposed of the ball and you'd spin the ground.
Jimmy goes long to the wing. Membry's there. Sharman's there. Off hands. Steele. Wilson off a step. Blitzarves sets himself. Marshall over the top. Almost for Stocker. Blitzarves continues through. Duncan had to reach back and find it. Guthrie. And the Saints throw a curveball into the race for the double chance. St Kilda with a signature win over Geelong. Coming into the night, the Saints were 1-9 against teams currently in the top 8. That only win was against Sydney by 2 points. And tonight, Aaron, they've claimed another scalp.
Absolutely, Rowan. A 51-point swing. What was said at halftime? You're an absolutely different team.
Yeah, completely different. Ross gave us a bit of a bang at halftime, and we probably deserved it. The first half of footy wasn't really the way we wanted to play, and we're getting smacked in centre bounce. And I think we were really able to turn it around in the second half in the midfield. And it really starts in the midfield and then it flew throughout the rest of the team. So really pleasing that second half.
You were electric. Your clearance work, 10 clearances, stoppage work. Was that a big focus in the second half?
Yeah, definitely. Stanley was probably getting over me at centre bounce that second quarter, so I just had to change my tactics and, it sort of worked that second half.
Have you ever been involved in a game like this with such a swing?
No, I can't really remember one. That second half was frantic, but, I think it really shows our running power. We're able to finish the game really well, and we're a really fit group, and, it builds a bit of momentum going into the pre-season next year.
Well done. Catch your breath and go and enjoy.
Beautiful. Thanks, Aaron.
Rowan Marshall, 28 touches, 10 clearances, 7 marks, 17 contested possessions, 6 inside 50s and a goal. It was a wonderful performance. Only Jack Bowes with 31 touches had more of the football tonight than Rowan Marshall. Disappointment for the Cats. They were electrifying in the first half, had the game on their terms, and the Saints snatched it away from them. And now the door to the double chance remains open. Brisbane can strike next week. They're only half a game behind Geelong. The Cats find themselves a game behind Port and GWS in the race for that all-important second spot, which delivers a home qualifying final. Frustrating, disappointing year for St Kilda in many ways. There's the live ladder. The Saints with their 10th win of the season. As you can see there, the Brisbane Lions just half a game behind the Cats. Erin is with St Kilda skipper Jack Steele.
I am, JB. Skip, you've been pretty proud of your boys' performance, especially coming to halftime. You got a bait from the coach and you definitely responded.
Yeah, we actually didn't get a bait from us at half-time. We weren't playing probably the first quarter of the game we wanted to, but we felt like the effort was there. Our system wasn't quite there. But we had some inside 50, some chances that we didn't quite take, and they were way cleaner around the ball than what we were. So they really hurt us. So we knew we just had to keep working, keep running, and eventually the tide would turn.
Looked like you were braver going through that corridor, taking the game on, playing with speed, the type of style that you guys want to play at.
Yeah, it's something we probably didn't do too well in the first part of the year. Probably post-buys when we started to pick up, I suppose, our brand, what we want to do with the ball, and yeah, it's been. I wouldn't say it's been consistent ever since, but we've done it for, I suppose, the majority of games. So it's pleasing to have done it tonight in the second half.
Your fans were absolutely electric. You wouldn't even think that you're not playing finals. They just showed up for you tonight as well. Yeah, it was awesome. We broke the membership record during the week, which is, big thanks to them, I suppose. And we couldn't have done it without them tonight. They really got on top and helped us get over the line, so it was great. Well done. Go celebrate.
Thanks, Sam. Cheers.
This is Super Saturday on Fox Sport to you by the Kia Sorrento. A big game from Jack Steele, the Saints skipper, steering his side to victory. An unlikely victory, it looked at halftime. They were 33 points down. An amazing momentum swing, and they have dealt a really big blow to the Cats' top 4 chances.
Yeah, they have. I think the Brisbane loss, though, might have helped the Cats, but we spoke about it three-quarter time, so on brand. In season 2024, to see the turnaround we had in the second half, it was led by their leaders. I thought they were brilliant. Rowan Marshall and Jack Steele, but Cal Wilkie as well, and Sinclair's continued on. He's been sensational all year. So they led from the front. A few of the young boys jumped on board, and it was as good a half of footy as I've seen all year from the Saints.
There's no questions answered tonight, Jason. We've got no idea who wants to win it. We keep saying it, but it's a strange season. I don't know where to start with this review, because Geelong looked in full control at halftime, didn't they?
There's simply no point trying to predict anything in football anymore, because all of the top teams, as we run towards the finals, are showing chinks in their armour. Yeah. And all of the top 5 or 6 teams have had stages over the last month where they've looked incredibly vulnerable. They've coughed up games you expected them to win. And you're right, King, we don't know what's going to happen next week, let alone September.
Except for Hawthorn, maybe, Jason.
Well, you never know. We know Essendon won't be there.
It's still mathematically possible.
Are they really?
Yeah, which is bad news for Dyson Heppel. But that second half, Joey, I don't know if I've seen Geelong's back 6 look as rattled as what we saw tonight.
I couldn't believe their team defence. They got picked apart as easily as we've seen. Like, St Kilda took over 100 marks in those final 3 quarters. They just spread the field. They picked holes in them. They took 20 marks inside 50. Yeah. The Saints, I'm not sure they've done that all year. They had 29 shots at goal. Yeah, Geelong, I'm not sure what happened to them. Geelong have done this a number of times this year. This isn't the first time we've seen the Cats capitulate. We saw a game in Darwin early in the year. We saw the game against the Western Bulldogs. They've had another one as well in there. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of the Cats, but full credit to St Kilda. As Jack Steele said, they've played much better footy, much more consistent footy, particularly offensively, since the bye, and we saw that to full effect today.
That's 3 in a row now for the Saints against the Cats at Marvel Stadium. So a good record, and the Cats perhaps happy they won't be at Marvel again this year. Let's head to the song.
Go marching in! Oh, when the Saints go marching in! Oh, I want to be in St Kilda! Oh, when the Saints go marching in! Oh, when the Saints go marching in! Go marching in! Oh, when the Saints go marching in! Oh, I want to be in St Kilda! Oh, when the Saints go marching in!
A great win by the Saints, Jason. How much will this boost them heading into the pre-season to play such really good football when you're heading to the break?
First thing you notice is how much spirit there was in the song. They were up and about, they were filming the dancing. You know, they're absolutely loving the fact that they've shown over the last 6 or 8 weeks they're capable of some really good football against some good sides. We know they knocked over Sydney 6 or 7 weeks ago. Now they've knocked over the Cats. They are capable. We just don't get it on a consistent basis. And that must frustrate Ross Lyon and the coaches, and it must frustrate all the St Kilda supporters. And, Joe, I know you get frustrated at times because we don't quite know where they are in the pecking order.
No, I know. And I think they probably feel, and I think I do too, the competition, it's only small margins. They're not massive margins. So maybe it's a matter of just doing what you do well more consistently, and you'll get more wins, and that's what you're talking about there. And so they've trained that. They said, no, we're going to be consistent right through the end of the year. Our brand, how we want to play, we're just going to do it week after week. I think they had the Melbourne Storm come in about 6 or 8 weeks ago and spoke about culture of just doing the same thing week after week.
Well, they know about consistency.
That's exactly right. And maybe the Saints are going down that path, and hopefully it can sort of kickstart next pre-season.
You know, to be a false economy though, because they still are a couple of midfielders short 100%. Of really making a move up the ladder.
They still need talent.
Yeah, they still need to make a significant inroad, I think, and to find that game-breaking midfielder.
Yeah, well, Ross was asked during the week whether this is the time to experiment and try some new things. He almost bristled at that. It's like, no, we're going to stick to doing what we do, and they've done that particularly well tonight. One of the stars for the Saints tonight was Josh Battle. He joins us in the St Kilda rooms. We're just lauding the performance and the big turnaround that you guys had tonight. What sparked it, and what did Ross say at halftime?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't think our pressure was there in the first half. They controlled the ball really well, so we knew we had to sort of come out and get after them, which we weren't there in the first half, and we responded really well in the second half.
Hey Josh, congratulations. It's an outstanding win. Super impressive second half. We heard Ross say that he wanted to be the disruptor heading over the last few weeks. What do the players do? What goals do you set yourself when you're out of the finals mix and you know there's still a month or more to go till the end of the season? What goals do the players set themselves knowing you've got to salvage something out of the year?
Yeah, definitely. We set ourselves after the bye to finish the year off really well, and the last 3 weeks. I mean, if we had a good win tonight, and next week's a massive game again. So if we can finish off well, that's sort of what Ross has alluded to the last few weeks. Just keep giving great effort and try and set ourselves up for next year.
It was a fascinating watch, yourself versus Jeremy Cameron. What pointers did you take into the game? What did you want to try and restrict him? How did you approach that contest? You held him to 5 score involvements, which is a massive tick.
He's a star, and we knew it'd go a long way to stopping him, Stewart, Dangerfield. So, sort of set myself for the task, watched a fair bit of vision on him. He can run. So, it was a great battle. He kicked a few late, so I was pretty dirty on myself for that. But, no, he's a very good player.
Hey, congratulations tonight, Josh. We've seen how well the boys have played over the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks. Does it mean that there's a little bit, sort of a bit of taste in the mouth, a bit of frustration that you haven't been able to play this way, particularly sort of through the first half of the year to give yourself a chance to play finals? Because we've now seen your best football is good enough to beat teams like Sydney and the Cats.
Absolutely. I mean, we think our best footy's when we play our best footy, we can match it with anyone. I know we didn't get the victory, but in terms of, I think we've lost six games by under 10 points. So if we had won a few of those, we might have been able to give it a shake up. But if we can finish the year off well and keep improving every day, that's all we can ask for.
Josh, we're all scratching our heads in here trying to work out who are the standout teams this season and who is the team to beat, having played everyone. What's your opinion on who the premiership favourite should be?
I think it's pretty tough. I mean, we struggled against Brisbane. They're pretty sharp. So for mine, I think the Lions. I think they'll go pretty far.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for your time tonight. We've loved having a chat to you and celebrating the Saints' great win. We're calling Ross the Grinch, and let's see if you can upset the Blues finals plans next week.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Josh Battle there in the St Kilda rooms. Gosh, Carlton would be scared after watching that performance tonight.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a massive game, the final game, middle game on the Sunday for Carlton. They probably are going to have to win. You'd think the Blues to make the finals, and St Kilda, the form they're in and the injuries that Carlton have, you would think St Kilda would start favourites.
You haven't met Josh before, Jason, have you? You haven't been on the recruiting?
I'll tell you what, he's a good size of a lad, isn't he? He is a lump of a man.
You keep your hands off him, you Hawks.
Mate, I have nothing to do with it.
I know.
But gee, he'd look good in the brown and gold. I'd love to see it. I like him as a player.
You weren't tempted to ask him then?
Inappropriate to do that. Not my position. I'm just a barracker, and like you barrack for Essendon, I barrack for Hawthorn. We're a little bit better than you, and chances are we might win a final again before you do.
Was it long-suffering
21 years now, is it?
I don't know.
Been
a very long time.
7,287 days.
Why are we talking about it?
Weren't you that? You've shown. Weren't you the little kid the last time Essendon won a final? Haven't you shown that photo? You were like a little girl, and that was
so young.
He was 2 then.
I don't know why we are talking about a team that hasn't even played today. We're going to get back on track and forget about the Bombers, because our Ashley and Martin turning point of the day was St Kilda's fourth quarter, where they hammered on the goals. So in the first half, they kicked 3 goals. In the second half, they kicked 13. It was just a demolition.
I think it was really important. So they get on top in the third quarter, and there's a 3 or 4 goal break at 3/4 time. The important thing then is to start well in the fourth quarter, and they're able to do that. They've got some great contests from their forwards at 50-50 balls that just went forward, and then they were able to crumb and convert them, turn them into goals, and then they opened up the break, and it really took the pressure off. I think they didn't have to worry about getting threatened by the Cats again.
Plus 20 contested possessions, plus 12 inside 50s. They scored pretty much every time they went in that second half. It was ridiculous. And the aggression we'll get to in a moment. But the Saints playing like that, I think this is a frustration for the Saints fans. They very rarely play with the brakes off. And the express ball movement through the corridor, we don't see them play like this often enough, Jason. And tonight it was forced upon them by the scoreboard.
So whose fault is it?
Well, it has to be Ross's decision to play the way they play. I mean, there's no one else is more responsible than the senior coach.
Okay.
You don't agree?
No, well, I was saying whether you're going to put on the players or maybe the game style that the coaching panel is impressing upon them.
I think this result or this second half will frustrate the Saints fans as much as please them.
Okay.
If you look at the corridor ball use in the second half, and we'll show some vision of just when they play express and play with this. So the first half, they have 40 disposals in the corridor, second half, 92. And then this is sort of what we're talking about. This is actually putting it to the opposition to defend full ground, winning contests forward of the ball, and at every opportunity, eyes in board. And these are the possessions that really hurt you. When you've got the full forward 50 to work with, sure, there's no Max King down there, so you need all of that space to be utilised by lesser talent, if you like, Joey. And I just thought their preparedness to play with this there. And this guy, he gets a lot of negative raps, does Brad Hill. I thought he was terrific again tonight when he was out there. These sorts of plays here. Like they bring the ball back in, now wrap around, go, and then get to the other side of the ground. This is what St Kilda can do. So I think there'll be a stone in the shoe for the Saints fans tonight.
Yeah, and when you say, there was nothing reckless because they did control the ball by foot. As you said, they took a lot of marks, but they did use the full width of Marvel Stadium. They'd go out wide, they'd switch it, use angles, use the corridor, as Kingy said, which gave them great looks, which gave them a number of options going inside 50. But to be fair, you look at Geelong as well. Their team defence, I think, allowed it a bit too. I'm not sure what happened to the Cats to break down like they did in the second half, but certainly the Saints took full advantage. Again, another 10 individual goal scorers for the Saints, so it's been a theme since Max King has gone out of the side and they haven't been able to target the one key forward. And as you mentioned, I thought some of the contests of Owen and Sharman, particularly in that fourth quarter, were enormous.
Desperation at times. We saw some great commitment, bodies on the line kind of stuff, which resulted in a Higgins goal. It was a pretty big clash.
Yeah, we all went up, didn't we, on the Cats upstairs, and just the commitment levels from the Saints players to be able to do this. You know, the game was going their way, so this wasn't absolutely required. But when you see it, you say, wow, that is fantastic from Owens and Membry to commit their bodies to the cause.
It is, and when you see that sort of commitment, I think you get great confidence around, particularly the small forwards. They go, well, I'm going to hit this because I know I'm getting a contest from my key forward. And I think sometimes when you pick and choose when you go, you don't have that same predictability that your teammates can rely upon. So I agree with you. I thought there was some contests today that I think in past games we haven't seen some of those St Kilda players make them, but they decided everything mattered tonight.
When you talk about reliable players, there aren't too many more reliable than Kel Wilkie. He was awesome tonight.
Yeah, he just controlled the back line, didn't he? I mean, normally he's had Josh Battle running shotgun with him, and between them, they take a lot of intercepts, but Battle had his hands full taking care of Jeremy Cameron, and this guy just did what he's always done, 8 intercept marks. I think Kingy, he really just dominated the back line. He was too good. I think, he's probably had a slightly underrated year because St Kilda haven't won as many games and haven't been on the radar. It's probably gone a little bit unnoticed how consistent he has been. Again, I've got no doubt he will finish high in their best and fairest. He's just such a reliable and important player for St Kilda.
Is he the smallest of all the gun key defenders in the competition?
Yeah, he'd be close. Yeah, absolutely.
Gives away a lot of size each and every week and just never gets flogged. He's just a gun.
Very, very consistent operator, as is our newsman, David Zeta.
All right, folks, there we go. That's all we've got for tonight for this match, where it was the Saints 16-11-107 to the Catters 14-5-89. As you can see on the worm, it was all the Cats in the first half, but then after half-time, the Saints brought their game, brought the pressure, brought the heat, brought the skill, and the Cats just could not cool them down. So it was a big win. Another upset victory here for a top 8 side who are looking to go further up. One more quick look at the ladder. There's the Cats there. They still remain in 4th position they can't jump up to the second position tonight. Maybe next week. We will have to wait and see, but I think they're just worried about trying to win next week to get a double chance and into the top 4. Hey, Tine Bem Megalove shout out is in the house. Haha. Hannah Jinx. Suns have been forced to move on play. Yeah, they certainly have. I know it makes a big hole in the group from it. Did take the Suns quite a while, and they're still trying to get their game together. They did look a little bit better earlier in the year. Maybe next year for them. Whereas the Giants are actually starting to put it all together. They do look good in recent weeks, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. Just from the top 4, Sydney, they're looking reasonably ordinary. The Giants are looking good. Port are looking pretty good. Just in the other game for the Port Adelaide Crows derby over there, it was Port Adelaide taking out the win 11-14, 80 to the Adelaide Crows 8-10, 58. So that's what happened in the other game over there. So Port Adelaide, they jump up. I'm not sure if that is that the live ladder? There's the live ladder now. Port Adelaide jumped to second on the ladder and the Cats still in 4th. Well, it could be hard now for the Cats to get up into second position, but they need a victory next week to try and remain in the top 4. It's all on their shoulders if they can do it. No side stands out. That's exactly right. The Swans are playing pretty ordinary. Port Adelaide playing pretty good. GWS are playing pretty good. Cats are a bit ordinary. The Lions I still give a little bit of a chance to because they play, if they can make it through, it's going to be hard outside the top 4. They do play the MCG reasonably well. Fremantle, they weren't too bad, although they lost their game. Western Bulldogs, well, who knows with the Western Bulldogs? I think the mystery roughy team is Hawthorn. I think they could be a danger to everyone, but it's just so difficult to win the flag outside of the top 4. But the Hawks are certainly one team that can do it this year. They are, without doubt, the team in form right now at the moment. All right, folks, that's about all we've got for this game. Well done to all the Saints supporters out there. Commiserations to Geelong, but hey, you're in the finals and you can still make top 4 if you get on the winning train next week. Hawks definitely have good form. Absolutely, they're on fire. They're on fire. You know what? I expect the Hawks to win by a big margin tomorrow. I think they play the Tigers tomorrow, so that should be a. Who knows? That could even be, a 10-goal or 100-point win there tomorrow for the Hawks. We'll have to just wait and see. Ciao for now, says Paul. Thanks, Tina. Thanks, Hannah Jinx. Thanks, everyone else, for coming in. And just on the poll, we had 54 votes. 64% went for the Cats. We'll make it 36% went for the Saints. So the poll got it wrong on this occasion where we usually get it right. But I'm sure the poll will get it right tomorrow when the games we cover there tomorrow, which should be pretty good. And the games we've got coming up tomorrow that we'll cover will be the Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne. Of course, I won't be able to do Hawthorn Richmond, so it'll be Western Bulldogs North Melbourne, and then later it will be West Coast Eagles versus Carlton, which will be a fascinating game to see who can get across the line there. All right, folks, that's all I've got for Saturday football game day. Thanks all for coming in. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you tomorrow if you come back and listen in on the next match we have. Ciao for now, folks. We'll see you in the next live. Thanks, everyone, again. Always appreciated.